Yeah, yellow kitchen.
Who have
Do
we
you
lost?
work in a yellow
we
kitchen?
lost someone. We lost someone. No, everyone's there.
I
There we
work
go.
in a
Everyone's
kitchen, but not yellow.
there. We are live and in colour. Welcome back, everybody, to another Curse of Strahd. Yay! Wednesday D&D. For those of you that are regular on the channel and were with us on Sunday, holy Jesus,
Oh,
Donald.
wow. The girls in your house trash.
It's going on at Trash's place.
Someone's about to get murdered at Trash's house. But for those that you were here on Sunday night, episode 50 of the Paradigm campaign was awesome. Yanti dropping a resub, 11 months. Thank you very much. So we were episode 50. We did a little bit of a competition. For those that were here, and if you weren't here, you can actually catch up and still enter the competition. You've got until Sunday night, at the start of Sunday night's show. We will announce the winner then. Go watch the VOD, either here on Twitch or over on my YouTube, and count the Metallica references that Het made throughout the session, and you will go on to win some free Steam games. I've only had one person DM me so far, so I've only got one person that is interested in winning free stuff, which is kind of shocking that no one wants free stuff. But free stuff, competition, enter, do the thing and the stuff. Drabs, welcome.
But I just need to ask you for it.
What?
I said I love free stuff, but
You
you'd give
don't
me games if I
qualify.
asked you.
No, I wouldn't.
Why don't I qualify?
You don't qualify because you... You don't qualify because you asked for free stuff. That's just really greedy. Nah, kidding. Anywho, she's going to get upset with me now. Shaking her head over in the corner there. Right, so without any further ado, we shall recap last week and get into tonight's show. Last we left off, you had all continued your search of this old, now seemingly abandoned manor, which belongs to a family called the Dursts. You find the master bedroom and discover the will of Gustav and Elizabeth Durst, and the deeds to this house and a windmill named Old Bone Grinder. Also some spell scrolls. Mirabelle finds a storage cupboard and is attacked by a broom, which is promptly destroyed, but in the process, Mirabelle starts a small fire. Emilia managing to slow the fire long enough for you all to extinguish it. It didn't go too badly after all that. Continuing on, Carnos hears the cries of a baby in distress sounds of a mother from the nursery. Entering to find no one. Examining the crib, discovers what looks like a small child wrapped in a blanket. Picking it up only to find that it is nothing more than a bundled blanket. But the screeching sound of the seemingly ghost form of a young woman revealing herself from the wall to his left, instantly transforming into a more grotesque version of herself, attacks. Battle goes on backwards and forwards. Carnos and Mirabelle both seemingly attacked and harmed by this entity, trying to steal something from them, reaches inside their bodies, causing some interesting effects. Zadriel, however, manages to deal the final blow, dispatching this creature. Adok doesn't deal with the spectre very well and is noticed to be distressed and hid under the bed in the neighbouring room. After a bit of coaxing from Mirabelle with food and further scaring from Emilia with her wolf face, eventually he decided to come out from under the bed. Further investigations led to the finding of a small stairwell behind the mirror in the nursemaid's quarters. You headed back upstairs to find a locked door. Kanos breaching this door with his great axe. After again more searching around, you find a spare bedroom. You find another locked door with a padlock on it. Fibblestib and Zadriel, with the aid of Zadriel, managed to unlock this padlock, biffing it behind him and almost catching, I believe it was Scathus behind, who manages to destroy the lock with a swift blow. But this room you find has a doll's house, a toy chest, a couple of small single beds, one single window that is bricked over, and two small skeletons wearing very familiar clothing to you. After closer inspection of the dollhouse, Rosa and Thorn appear to you once more, seemingly not knowing who you are, even though that you had spoken to them outside, but a conversation had, and it was discovered that the entrance to the basement was indeed on the attic level in another room, which was pointed out to you in this scale model of the house. You also agreed to lay the children to rest by laying their bones in their rightful resting place, which will be in the family crypt, which is believed to be in the basement also. It is at this time you decided it would be a good time to rest since the sun had set. Fibblestib setting the alarm, which was designed to keep everybody out. Watch was posted. Kanos lets Adok know his intentions, and a truce of sorts is reached. Zadriel, during her watch, seems to be very wary of Scathus and Emilia and watches them closely. We now rejoin our unlikely heroes as the morning comes, even though you can't really tell in this closed off room, but you wake. Zadriel, you'd notice that your shield, the sun has moved to a morning position, so you know it's roughly, you would don't know the exact time, but you know it's sometime in the morning. So, you are waking. What are you intending on doing? It is now over to you.
Emilia's going to wake up first and loudly say, "I need to pee," and run out the door and down the stairs. Which will set off the alarm.
Which does indeed set off the alarm as Emilia wakes before everyone else. Oh no, because you are allowed to pass through it, so it won't. Given certain people can pass through it without setting the alarm, so you do not trip the alarm, but you do, however, open the door with probably not quietly, I would imagine, and run downstairs to urinate. So the door is flung open with a bit of a, as it hits the wall, probably waking one or two of the others with a bit of a start. But it is now over to you guys. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna nudge everybody. Good morning. Hello. Wake up.
Ugh, good morning.
People sleep. Wake up.
Yeah, Karnos is waking up. He is an easy to get out of bed type fellow. He just gets straight up and starts putting his gear on.
It will take you all a few minutes to re-don your armor, because if you do sleep in your armor, you will know that you will get exhaustion, so you have to remove your armor to sleep. So those of you that are wearing armor, it would take you 5 or 10 minutes to address your situation, attach all your armor bits and pieces, and get yourself organised for the day ahead. You all manage the effects of a long rest. Mark off rations also for the night.
Because Adok has a level of exhaustion, he's still going to be quite heavily in a sleep coma, cradling his cannon. You
will lose the effects of the exhaustion after a long rest, but yeah, even though he's had a sleep. He's still not 100% at this point, but your level of exhaustion is now not. You've lost that because of your rest. Even though it wasn't a restful rest per se, I mean, definitely a lot of things running through Adok's mind, but that level of exhaustion is no longer applicable.
Probably the best night's sleep he's had in months.
You're probably right. Even though not 100% dream free, shall we say, it was definitely better than the last several nights where you've been sleeping out in open bush with potential wolves and all manner of beings and critters and creepy crawlies and all sorts of stuff. Not much better in here, but definitely warmer. So, team, Emilia has taken off downstairs to urinate. Should be back in maybe 10 or 15 minutes, depending on what she needs to do. So, what are we doing?
I'm going to be rummaging through my pack, making sure everything's there, and then look over at Zadriel and go, "Give me hammer, I fix."
Right now?
Yeah, give hammer, fix.
Oh, I reluctantly give my weapon to him.
Okay, and I want to do a tinker check to see if I can actually get this thing to bloody work.
Okay. Dirty 20. Yeah, well, with a dirty 20, I would say that depending on what you're trying to do, what is the effects of the hammer that you're trying to create?
It just doubles her strength bonus when it actually does work. So,
does it just on every hit, or just on what?
Nah, every hit.
Every hit.
Every hit. Yeah, I was actually trying to get it to do it, like progressively. Shut up, phone.
What is this phone?
What is this device do?
It's the compass. No, I was actually trying to get it to do it like after like the second hit, it would double it and then double it again if you got consecutive hits, but it won't let it do that.
No. I probably
so
wouldn't let it do that anyway.
Double strength bonus.
So yeah. So what's your strength bonus at the moment?
Hopefully she can actually find it. I actually did make it in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, because it's homebrew and we haven't allowed homebrew content for this campaign, she probably won't be able to find it. So what you'll have to do on your character sheet to find it is to go edit your character and allow homebrew content. So for the purpose of this, because it's part of your guys' backstory, I'll allow it. But there will be no added bonuses. It'll just be the single bonus, and it'll only be on your first attack during the attack round.
Oh, we'll just make it. She can just run the Warhammer and just add 2 on top of the
Just
first.
adds a +2, yeah, on the first hit.
I don't know what that means. I just hit stuff.
So basically, what it'll mean is
add
whatever
+2
your
damage
numbers
when you
are,
first
yeah,
hit.
whatever's the numbers on your Warhammer, you just out on your first attack in every combat situation, not every turn, but at the first attack every combat round, you'll add a +2 on top of what you already have. So it's basically like a rage bonus, but you'll only get it on the first attack.
Can I have it back now?
Fixed. Works perfect.
You're going to blow up on me?
And I just welt into the wall and show her that it actually works and doesn't blow up, and said, "You know, trust. One time."
Is this a two-handed weapon by any chance? The Warhammer,
no. Is it?
or is it a single-handed weapon?
I think it's versatile. I think it's both.
Versatile. So for Fibblestib, it would definitely be a two-handed weapon, and even for you to swing it, you'd have to make a strength check because it's probably twice as big as you are anyway.
17.
17. Fibblestib's pretty bloody strong.
I was waiting for him to go ass over 10.
So was I actually. But yeah, so you swing it against the wall, and it makes a pretty loud noise against the wall. It doesn't do much damage with your weight behind it, but it doesn't explode.
See? Works fine. Yours. Take.
As soon as the massive smash on the wall happens, Adok is going to jump alert, grab his cat and go, "Stand back! I've got a cannon! Stand away! I'll fire it!"
Oh, look what you did, Fibblestib.
He needed to wake up anyway.
And Adok, all you see is Fibblestib with this great big hammer that's definitely oversized for him, and the damage to the wall, and everyone else is standing around. It doesn't look like there's any danger.
Why is there a hole in the wall?
Oh, he did that. It's okay. You're okay. It's okay.
Fixed hammer.
Emily is downstairs thinking, well, sounds like Mirabelle setting the house on fire again.
Right. What are we doing, peoples? Where are we? You know where the stairwell to the basement level is. You've been shown on the doll's house. You know it's in the next room.
Emily will come back upstairs. When she comes upstairs, you'll notice that even without her armor on, she's still fully covered head to toe in clothing, and you can't see anything, and she's still wearing a hood. And she'll come back into the room and put her armor back on.
Carlos goes up to Skathis and he says, "Well, Skathis, I believe it's about time you start leading us into the next part of the house, since we know where the basement area is now. Is that correct?"
Skathis nods.
Okay. Yes, you're right, Fibblestib. He is a big talker. I don't feel myself. And Carlos takes one flask and takes a quick sip, grabs the other flask, takes a quick sip. Right, into it. Everyone ready to go? Emilia, getting your gears on?
Yes, I'm armored and ready to go.
Where is young Mirabelle?
I'm just sitting on one of the beds, holding on to my little bundle of bones.
Are you good?
Getting ready.
Are you good, Mirabelle? You're ready to go.
Ready to go.
That is excellent.
So, you are all proceeding to the room indicated at the doll's house to find your secret door.
Correct.
You move across into the next room, which is not directly across from the children's bedroom, but you walk out of the children's bedroom, move slightly to your right, single doorway, and you open the door into a dusty chamber packed with old furniture. Looks like chairs, coat racks, standing mirrors. It looks like maybe some dress mannequins and such, all draped with dusty white sheets. Hanging from the rafters in the center of the room is the skeletal remains of a woman wearing a very familiar dress, not unlike the spectre that you all battled with in the nursemaid's quarters. The remains look like they've been here for a long time. There's not a lot of flesh left on the bone. It's what flesh there is very leathery and doesn't really smell. Like, it smells musty in the room, but it's not you don't smell the smell of rotting flesh, so you can tell it's definitely been here for quite some time. What flesh you can see has, especially around the ribs, the flesh that's what's left hanging on the ribs, seems to have multiple stab wounds also.
Oh, so she was murdered, maybe.
Yes, I would believe you are correct. Carnos goes over and actually inspects this corpse.
Make a medicine check for me.
Oh, nat 20 first roll,
Nat 20, first roll of the night.
and it's just plus 0, so 20.
20. So with a 20, Carnos, you, with your experience and adventuring and dealing with mortal and superficial wounds, you inspect what remains of this woman, and it's pretty evident that she probably suffered a dozen or so stab wounds around the chest area. These nicks on the bone that shows the knife was probably very, very sharp, and you can't tell whether she was alive when she was hung, but she was. The wounds would be enough to kill someone. At the very least, she may have been hung and left to bleed out, or was hung post-mortem.
So, this team, I don't know if you've seen this before, but this reminds me of a place I went called the Hills of Silence, where these creatures were hung up and their wounds were shown. This is almost the same. This is stab wound, and you can see through the drying of the skin and where you can see the bone is. Come and have a look if you'd like. It's fascinating.
I go over and look at Carlos and I'm like, do you think this is the pure wee mite's mother?
Carlos has a look. Any of the pictures that we've seen, would this even have any similarities to the mother?
Yeah, I mean, the dress looks very, very familiar to the dress that the Spectre was wearing. The moment you first saw Carnos before she changed her form, not really much hair left on the head at all, so you can't really tell 100% whether it's the same person or not. But it's pretty clear that the dress is much the same. It's same style, same colour, sort of a dirty off-white. So you could probably assume that it was probably the Spectre that you fought in that room, which you can only assume is the baby's mother.
Fiddlestab, Zadriel, maybe specifically you, Zadriel, with I guess the nature of what you can do, would you think it would be a good idea to take this corpse down and take it with the children and bury it or burn it as well?
I suppose that she needs to be addressed as much as anyone else, you think?
Has everyone agreed? Shall I take her down and drag her with us?
Funny, I was just about to say that. Maybe we should take her with the wee mites and give her a proper burial.
All right, all those in favour, raise your right hand and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Right hand, Mirabelle.
Aye.
Okay, I didn't get a count there, but I think the ayes.
We got. I think, did we get an eye from Emilia as well?
Emily is going to say, are you sure that we want to give her a good burial, considering she's probably the one who locked the two children in the bedroom and let them starve to death?
But she did it for their safety. Imagine they probably would have gone through all this themselves.
I don't think it's the mother. I don't think it's her.
I'm wondering where the father would be, or if he did it, because he is not here.
Or just one more thing to throw in the pot, the butler.
What's a butler?
It's a dress. Not
But-
butler.
What?
Maid.
That's right. Well, maybe the maid. It's always the help, the hired help. There's this one time, a friend of mine, last name Christie, I think, and she had this
Scathus carries on downstairs.
Skathis doesn't know where the downstairs is yet. You got to find it. You know where the door is. You haven't discovered that yet.
All right, I'm looking for the door.
Skathis moving or not, Karnos carries on the story about a mansion and a butler who's killed all the dwellers in the mansion.
So with that, Skathis, you head to the northern wall of this room, where the indication was that there would be the secret panel, and indeed behind an old chair that's covered by an old cloth, you move the chair with that wood on wood sound across. Like, you know how you move an old wooden chair across an old wooden floor, you get that real squeaking, sort of horrible squeaking sound as it moves across away from the wall. And you do indeed see a panel. It's not hugely noticeable. It's very well made and set. And you push on it, and it's spring loaded. As you push on it, you hear an audible clicking sound as the panel pops out one side. You grab it, you pull it open, swing it open. The hinges squeal loudly as they've been here for a while. It's quite rusted. And behind it is a very narrow spiral staircase leading downwards, and it is very dark.
I will go offer to pick up the cannon and carry it down for the little ones. So I just go and do
I
it.
think we might have lost Adok.
No, I'm still here.
Oh no, your camera's frozen, that's all.
No.
Yeah, for me it is, but okay, as long as it's not for everyone else, it is for me.
Skathis carries on downstairs.
Refresh your stream.
Oh, there it goes.
So you're all following downstairs.
Yes.
So who has... Holy shit.
I think your alarm went off, Evldoatv family.
Yes, but wow, that was a good alarm.
Either that or someone was playing the bagpipes.
It wakes me up. That's all I can say.
Oh,
Wakes me up.
Can we get a marching order, please? Who is entering the stairwell first, and who has a light source, because it is pitch black?
Is entering the stairs, and I've got dark vision, so...
Okay, so even with dark vision, there is not an adequate source of light for you to even be able to see.
Did we
With your
just
dark
off?
vision.
I will go and cast light on the cannon since I'm carrying it. Boop.
Karnos is carrying the corpse over one shoulder, so he cannot carry a torch, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's not heavy, but it will definitely offer some disadvantages given certain circumstances, shall we say.
Correct, he would be one-handing his axe.
Yep.
As I have the wickeddies in my hands, kind of wrapped up
So
in a little
Skathis,
bag.
Zadriel, who's next after Zadriel?
Yeah, Karnos and the corpse.
Karnos and the corpse.
And I'll be behind Karnos.
Mirabelle, who's after Mirabelle?
I'll go after Maribel.
Is Fibblestib, and I would assume Adok's going to stick with Fibblestib.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the back. Well, yeah.
Emma likes to lag back and bring up the rear. And you would definitely don't want to be anywhere near her, so...
Hell no. Yeah, I'll be next to Fiddleston. Yeah.
So you will, you jump in, and you sort of, you're keeping an eye on this wolf person thing. Every now and then you sort of glance back to make sure she's still there and not trying to eat you.
Walking behind Adok, making sniffing sounds.
Yes, it sounds like she's trying to sniff you from behind. It's kind of unnerving. So you start to descend the spiral staircase, which leads down about 50 or so feet, thick with cobwebs and dust. It is very claustrophobic in this space. It's only barely 5 feet across. So the larger of you, Skathis, Zadriel, and probably even Karnos at this point would definitely feel claustrophobic in this space. And just when it feels like the walls are completely closed in on you, you open out into a small corridor, 10 feet wide, about 20 feet across before it then opens out left and right. The tunnels are made for, it looks like carved stone and clay, definitely man-made. And the moment you enter this area, the first thing you all notice, you can all hear it very faintly on the air, a low droning chant. At this point, you're not 100% sure what it is saying, but it seems to be constant, and it seems to be coming from everywhere.
Adok, did you say something?
No, I did not. But actually, just give me a second. And with that, I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Detect Magic.
Yeah.
So, do you cast it as a spell slot or a ritual?
As a spell slot.
As a spell?
Yeah.
Just a regular spell. So you cast Detect Magic, 60-foot range, I believe.
30 feet.
30 feet. So from where you are, you'd be probably at the base of the stairs as everyone sort of moves into this small corridor. You sort of move forward. Everyone would move far enough forward you could look left and right down these corridors. Again, it's not very bright down here. There's no light source at all. So the only light source you have is the light that has been cast on the cannon which Zadriel is carrying. So that's behind you guys and in front of you, Adok. Nothing apart from what any magical items that you or your companions are carrying shows up as any kind of magical essence at this point. So if any one of you are carrying something magical, Adok can now see it. So if you would just go through and just anyone list off any magical items they're currently carrying, so because they would be giving off a definite arcane glow to Adok at this point. So Fibblestep, are you carrying anything magical at the moment?
Yeah, he would see my mace and the musket would be glowing.
Okay. Mirabelle?
I do believe that my wand would be glowing.
No, it would not.
Yes, it would.
No, it would not.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Shh. Yes, it would.
Adok, you glance over at Mirabelle, and she has her wand out, but her wand's not showing any arcane presence at all. Skathis, do you have any magical items on you at this point?
None.
None? So nothing...
Nothing
shows up on Skathis. Zadriel.
I wear a holy symbol, but I don't think
It's
that's
more
glowing.
divine than arcane,
Yeah.
so that probably won't show up as being magical. Your
And
mace probably would because of the magical. Actually, no, that's mechanical,
No.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So your mace.
And I'll set the
wouldn't.
cannon down too, by the way. So
The
we're
cannon
on
would
the
definitely
bottom.
show up as arcane because it's
Yeah.
your creation. Emilia, do you have anything magical on your presence?
Nothing.
Nothing. And Karnos.
Karnos has 2 potions of healing, and that would be about it.
Yeah. So his pack would have a faint glow to it. You wouldn't know what exactly was magical in it, but his pack has a faint arcane glow. But apart from that, in this particular area, you don't see anything else.
The potions are on his side belts.
Oh, on his belts? Well, there you go. So
Yes.
you would see that the potions, and you'd know what they were. You've seen them before.
Yeah. Whilst this was happening, you would have seen Adok sort of mutter something in Goblin, do a couple of signals with his hands, and then pause for a moment, and then go, "Nope, nothing. We're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble."
So with that, you all look around, and as you look to your left and your right down this corridor, to your left, which would be to the to the east of your current position with the compass that Fibblestep has, The corridor goes about 20 to 30 feet and then turns to in a northerly direction out of sight. You also see that there is a right corridor that leads to the south. To your west, which is to your right hand side, is a long corridor about 50 feet long, and it disappears into darkness, but it looks like it opens out into a larger room. A couple of other smaller corridors branch off to the north and south in those walls as well. Again, you can't really see into those areas because there's places you can put torches. There's old torches here that have not been lit, which you could quite easily light if you wished. But at this point, that's the only light source you have, so that's about all you see.
Do we still hear the chantings?
It is continual. It just continues. And it seems, again, you can't determine any kind of position. It just seems to be omnipresent. It is everywhere. And it's just under sort of audible level, so you can hear it saying something, but you can't quite make out the words at this point.
Karnos looks back to Emilia and says, Emilia, you have a hood that covers your face. This sounds very monk-like. Have you heard anything like this before?
I have not. Not at all.
No, you don't make any noises like this yourself?
Nope, just stuffing, scratching the body.
Okie dokie. All right then. Karnos carries on.
Which direction are you wanting to travel? You got a left and a right. So left will lead you to another small corridor and a left-hand turn. The right will take you down a longer corridor, which will give you three more options into the larger room or another two smaller corridors.
Left.
Gaither stands there and looks either direction and shrugs his shoulders.
Left.
I think a smaller corridor might be crypts.
I'll give you a quick view.
Zadriel and Falstaff are saying left.
Left.
I'm easy. I'm carrying a corpse.
So yeah, if you were to go left, there is a small corridor. If I can get this up properly, I can give you a better view.
Whilst obviously this chanting is still going on, Adult is going to walk closer to Zadriel if he can, and also, if I can, I like to prep a spell and hold it for anything that looks evil towards me.
Okay, so where you guys have come in is this stairwell here. You're sort of standing around this area here. To the left is this up here. You can't see the stairwell here, but you can see this corridor here, and you can see the beginning of this corridor here. So if you're wanting to go left, it would take you pretty much to that area there, where you'd find this corridor. So is that what you're wanting to do?
Yeah.
Again, just a quick order of travelling here, guys. Again, this corridor is only 10 feet wide, so you can probably get two people, just get two people sort of standing side by side, but that'd be about it. There's not a huge amount of room. So just a quick travelling order.
I guess I'm up first.
So Scathus, I'd say Zadriel still there with the cannon with the lights on it.
But I'll set it down so it's walking.
Okay.
So, yep.
And it's still lit up, so that's fine. Roughly the same order that you had before?
Karnos following her, yeah.
So we'll keep roughly the same order. Adox moved sort of closer to Zadriel at this point, as much as you can, which is not too difficult given your size. So you move forward, and you do indeed, as you move forward, discover another small corridor leading to the right. And as you look down it, you see it leads off again, left and right as you look down it, and it does indeed look not unlike a family crypt. basically, when you look down this particular corridor, there's a plaque on the wall, this particular wall here, and again it's the symbol of the windmill, which you've come to recognise as more than likely the Durst family crest.
Can Carnos use his flint and tinder as they go by and just light sort of every second torch sconce?
Yep, not everyone has enough on it to get it going, but you get it. You can, as you go down, you can get a couple going, which will give you enough light in this corridor. You would also be able to light one on this wall here, which will light up this whole area as well.
Okay, yeah, Carnos will just do like important-looking ones to sort of give them some light.
So, do you venture forward into this area, or do you bypass it?
Well, it looks like it's the crypt, so go into it.
So we go into the first one there. Which way are you going to go first, left or right?
Left.
So you move into the leftmost crypt there. As you get there, you can see the door. There's a stone slab door, like not really like a door. It's almost like just a slab it's pushed to one side and it's open. This crypt is not being used. It is empty. It doesn't look like there's any remains in here at all. There's no name on the stone slab either.
Is there a name?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, is there a name on the other one? Just to see.
Do you want to go have a look at the other one?
Yes, please.
So as you move around to the other side, and you move across now to the other side there. Oh crap. Only thing about clicking this thing. You move to the other side there, and this stone slab meant to seal this crypt leans against a nearby wall. Etched into the slab is the name Walter Durst. As you move in, the crypt is also empty.
Do we think that this is where we want to put the wee ones? Because Walter Durst, would that have been their father?
I don't.
Baby Walter is the baby's name.
Well, there's that.
You were told what the baby's name was, and yes, Walter was the baby brother that the children asked you to find.
Arabelle hasn't got a very good memory for these things.
The thing that bothers me the most is if Walter's name is on this slab, why is he not in this room?
Went for
Zadriel.
a walk.
Zadriel says aloud, "Hello, children. Can you come out and talk to us, or we need to ask you something?" I hope it works.
And you say that, and a couple of minutes go by, and no response.
Right, Adoc's paranoia is going to get the best of him as the chanting's probably still going on.
It is.
No.
So
It
it's
is continuous.
he's got to turn around and go, right, so we've found a crypt, we've got the bodies, let's just put the bones there and let's just get the fuck out of this place.
That sounds extremely exciting and very heroic, Adoc. However, it's not quite what we said we would do.
You're not hearing what's going on.
Well, yes I am, but the reality of things is we need to find what's going on and stop it if it's to do with monsters, right? Then you'll be safe. It'll be excellent for you. It'll be great for the rest of us, and especially these children.
Adoc's just going to stare at you and just go, you are an absolute madman. He's a madman. He's going to get you all killed, like seriously.
I have done this many times. I've been through many dungeons, many houses, many caves, and I've survived every one. So far, at least.
Yeah, we've noticed your limp.
Yeah, yes.
If
and we can't
anyone
see your face.
wishes to roll insight to see whether they believe Carnos' story, go right ahead.
Oh, they'd be tempted.
4, nope.
4. You think he's telling the truth?
Hit 21.
21. Carnos, does Mirabelle, is Carnos telling the truth?
Mirabelle would know that Carnos is. He's probably elaborated. He's done these things, but maybe not
You broke up a little bit there, dude.
grand as he makes out.
Okay, so just embellishing a little.
That was just my voice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
just
she's
embellishing
a
it a
little.
tad.
So anyone who got over a 15, if you rolled insight, would probably get the same. That he's telling the truth, but he's maybe embellishing just a touch.
Well, Emily has never seen him fight, but has already made it clear that he thinks he's full of shit.
Well, you can't. No, you would have seen him.
No, I haven't.
Actually, no, you didn't. You come in
I
late.
was out of the room in every fight.
You were in the doorway in the last fight, but by that stage, he had a ghost inside his chest. He didn't actually do anything much after that. So.
I only entered the room after Mirabelle got hurt.
Ah, yes, you did.
I saw Mirabelle get hurt, so I healed her. I never saw him get hurt.
You are quite correct. So
No,
you've
I
been
haven't
correct in that
seen
fight.
him
So you've never seen him fight. So, what are we doing,
I'd be
guys?
just thinking, well, he's a little bit that behaviour is a little bit familiar.
Well, there was an empty crypt in the other one, so maybe we can put either the mother or the two together in one.
Should we put them all together in one, just so that they're a nice wee family together?
Stick them all in there.
And I'm going to prepare firebolt to actually set them on fire.
Okay.
Carnos, hearing the instructions, all right then, and he goes to the empty one and drops the mother's corpse carefully onto the floor first.
Yep.
And I'll go in and just put my little bundle next to them, next to her.
So you've laid your corpses or remains in the unnamed empty crypt. And you move back out to the corridor?
I have a funny feeling they're about to become cremated.
Yes.
Emily is going to say that because they died in their room, there probably isn't a crypt for them to go into, so putting them into the unnamed ones would be right.
Zadriel, do you think it would be wise to say a couple of words?
Yes, I'm going to kneel down over them and say, "May DM bless you into the next place you go to, forever and ever." And I wave my hands over and yeah.
So you make
Not
a
used to
gesture. You
last
make a
rites.
gesture of your deity, and you say a few words, and for all intents and purposes, issue your version of the last rites. Right,
Well-
what are we doing?
Onward. I don't hear a monster. I just hear chanting.
Yes, let's find this chanting and become great heroes.
What
So-
was around the other corner?
So which way are you going to go? You're going to go back out and keep following to the east, or are you going to head down towards the other way that you
I
didn't
think
go?
we should go down. The other way we didn't go.
Are you going to burn the remains?
Not me personally, no.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a firebolt on each body part.
She's going to throw a couple of firebolts at the remains.
Yep. A couple of firebolts at the
You don't need to roll
remains.
for hit. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not moving. Your firebolt as a cantrip is probably not enough to ignite the remains. It would probably catch some of the clothing. Not enough. It wouldn't burn hot enough to destroy them, but nothing happens. You jam a couple of quick firebolts into it. The noise is quite echoey, and it seems to echo throughout these chambers. Nothing else is heard apart from that low drone chant that still remains in the background that you still at this point cannot make out what it is saying. It's definitely words. It's definitely common, but you just can't quite sort of hear what the words are enunciating. It's echoey and sort of reverby through these caverns.
Emily will wait until everyone has left the room and then kneel next to the partially burning corpse and say a prayer.
Okay, cool. Which way are you going, guys? Are you going to carry on upwards the way you were going, or do you want to head back down to the west?
I'll carry on up.
Karnos would like to check the wall areas. It's all stonework, right?
It's all carved clay and stone. Yeah, so it's definitely man-made. The floor is more carved stone, like not flash stone. It's nothing expensive, but it's definitely been man-made. All these square pegs that you can see, all these things here are like supports, just wooden supports that are holding the ceiling up. And the ceilings, it's all almost like an old mine shaft where you got the wooden supports up and angle brace supports every sort of so often to form structure.
Yeah,
very rudimentary but functional.
Just wants to search the area and make sure we're not missing anything, like, little trapdoors or secret crawl spaces
Roll
or something.
Investigation.
And I want to check for windmills or plaques or anything else on the walls.
And just in this area or further down? Up?
Can I check as we go? Can I make rolls as we go?
Yep. So roll investigate. You did find one on the as you entered into this area. Before inspecting the crypts, you did find a plaque with the windmill, and as you now that you're sort of checking for it, you give it a bit of rub, and it's actually got the Durst family name embossed above the windmill as well.
10 for Karnos.
You have a good look around the walls, and it looks like carved clay and stone. It's like, again, nothing flash, nothing overly rudimentary or elaborate, just very functional. It's been well constructed. I mean, it's obviously been here for quite some time, but it's nothing more than serviceable, and you don't really find anything that stands out at this point.
All good, man.
So, Skathis, you said you were going to carry on heading to the east. Does everyone follow as Skathis moves on and heads east?
Yes.
And you continuing to light torches as you go, Karnos?
Yeah, like I say, just ones that would help us. Obviously, not every torch he sees, just ones in sort of central areas.
As you move on, you all move forward, eventually coming to a small stairwell, which leads you into a large open space, which has a large wooden table, dusty, 4 foot by 4 foot table. It has 4 chairs standing around it, and to the west is, as you sort of move through into the room, has what looks to be almost like a sleeping chamber. You can see as you walk through and look down, you can see the end of a bed on here, and if you wish to continue further into there, you would find more. Do you wish to continue further into the room, or just you got another corridor?
Skathis continues into the room, having a look around.
As I said, in this room, there's pretty much what you see. It's just the table, the 4 chairs. If you continue into the interior of the room, you will find these small alcoves. In the small alcoves, there are like 4 little alcoves with beds. The mattresses, mouldy straw poking out from underneath these beds. Nothing really stands out at all. You've got a small wooden chest that sits at the end of each bed. Each chest looks like it's secured with a rusty iron padlock.
I cannot lockpick. So.
Actually, wrong room. That's just that one doesn't have any chests. It's next one over. So this is just some mouldy old mattresses and stuff.
Carnos would inspect each mouldy mattress, like lift it up, have a look underneath, check the pillows, make sure there's nothing around the sides of each bed.
It's pretty smelly as you go through and sort of pick up the mattress. The linen itself is very brittle. It's been here for quite some time. The straw is really mouldy. As you pick it up, you can smell that. Anyone who's been on a farm in an old hay shed that's gotten wet, that sort of wet hay smell, and it started to go mouldy, and you can smell that stench coming from each mattress as you sort of move into each area.
Carnos pulls his axe. He's had his axe out already. Pulls his shield out as well and says, "Hey, Doc, have you been here before?"
No, that is why I'm trying to get everyone to leave.
Okay, just kind of smells like you. That's all. And then he carries on into the next area, following Scathus.
I really hope he dies. I really.
Oh, yes. I was just being serious. You sniff him and you sniffing that. I'll tell you.
He does smell kind of bad. He hasn't washed in a while.
Neither is Carnos.
He's been out in the wilderness. Even though he's sort of partially cleaned up, he still doesn't. He needs to probably bathe. He doesn't smell too flash. But to be fair, neither does Carnos. So,
as we're going through the room, Adolf's going to try and stick as close as possible to Zadriel without obviously like being right up in a grill. And can I look out for any sort of dancing shadows or anything that looks weird and just do a couple of rolls every now and then?
Yep.
Just looking specifically for things that are moving in shadows.
Okay, so you and Zadriel both roll investigation for the things you were looking for in this area. So you've got the table area and this first sleeping area. Zadriel, you were looking for the windmill crest or any kind of family crest again. And Adok, you were looking for any suspicious shadows or just something that obviously stands out to you.
Yep.
So Zadriel.
I got a 19.
19. Looking around, this area doesn't seem to hold any correlation to the Durst family at this point. What was yours, Adok?
I got 15.
15. Same for you. You being even as paranoid as you are, you don't notice anything that makes you uncomfortable, apart from the obvious continuous drawl of this chant that you can't. It's annoying the hell out of you. You can't make out what they're saying. It's just it's freaking you out. It's annoying you. It's really playing on your mind. But other than that, you don't see anything else that sort of that worries you at this point.
Did the cannon make it down the stairs? Can it climb downstairs?
It's not a huge stairwell, so I'd say it would have made it down the stairs without too many hassles. It may have misstepped and had a bit of a tumble, but it's doing okay.
Emily is basically come out of the crypt area, seen the light of the cannon, followed it around, picked it up halfway down the stairs and carried it down to the bottom of the stairs.
Carnos has also lit several torches along the way too, so the light from the cannon is probably not necessary at this point, but it's still lit until 10 minutes that lasts? Or is it an hour? I can't remember.
It is an hour.
An hour, so it'll still
And
be
I'd
lit.
like to cast Divine Sense.
Okay, Divine Sense. What are you trying to sense? You're muted.
Oh, I just want to see if there's any like ghosts hiding or just any stuff I can't see.
So you're trying to sense undead, fey, fiends.
Fiend, yeah. Within 60 feet.
Within 60 feet. Where are you standing? Where are you standing currently? Where were you investigating? Were you in the table room or in with the beds?
I'd say I'm in the middle since I just looked for plaques and windmills with Adok. So I'm kind of probably looking around. So maybe.
Yeah. So with that, you start checking your divine sense kicks in, and the one thing you do notice is that there is a faint aura around Skathis, but you expected that. He is part fiendish after all. His demon blood will always show up. That's something you know about tieflings. You know that they do have the demon blood in them. But there is also a very distinct aura around Emilia, which shows her as being not alive.
Okay. I'll just keep quiet with that. But nothing else in the area
Nothing
besides
else at this point.
Alright. I'm just gonna look at Emilia funny and look at Adok and say, I've checked and it looks okay so far. So we are good so far.
Emilia will find the cannon halfway down the stairs and carry it to the bottom of the stairs.
Yep.
And put it down again, and stroke it and say, good dog.
And Emilia, you will also notice that Zadriel gives you a quizzical look. Whether you know what that means or not, whether you pick up on it, but you do notice she did give you a bit of a sideways look as you came down the stairs.
After Zadriel's finished saying what she's saying, Adok is going to turn to her and go, contrary to someone's belief, but chanting ghosts, skeletons, it's not a good idea. We're not safe. This isn't good. Believe me.
I believe you, but I plan to kill it, so then we will be good. Huh?
Right, yeah.
Right. Positive. Yeah, I keep going.
So you continue to move forward down the next corridor after searching this room.
Yeah, correct.
Karnos lighting the appropriate torches as you go. You then find... Yes?
Sorry, Karnos, he sort of tires of the laborious walk that's going on, the very careful check-in, and he's like, come on, guys, this is... Fuck it. Oi! Monsters and bad things that would scare small children, here we are. Come on! Come and get it. He shouts it out as loud as he can. Come and get us! We are ready for you. We're not children that you pick on. Our voices are just cracking slightly.
As he's doing this,
Yes?
I'm just going to go over and I'm just going to pull on his robe and go, shh. You're making an awful racket for somebody, you know? Shh.
Well, don't you think, Mirabelle, that it's not very fair that these things will pick on children, kill their family, but be scared when heroic adventurers come into the house?
That I get, but do you not think that we want the element of surprise?
Surprise, I'm going to kill it.
And as your voice echoes through these chambers, and you all hear it, that same reverb and cacophony of voices bouncing off the walls as Karnos' voice trails off down the corridors. You do hear in return just a low moan. Again, you have no idea where it's coming from. It just seems to emanate from everywhere. And you really can't determine what it is, what it even might be. It definitely didn't sound friendly. But and it was another one, like after about 2 or 3 minutes, another one you heard it sounded like it come from behind you. One sounded like it was in front of you. Another one sounded like it was just somewhere disembodied. It was about 3 or 4.
I just kind of go behind Karnos and just nudge him forward. Because it's like, you are going first.
Karnos does not mind. Right, everyone, tell me where I'm going. I will just lead the way if that is what you want. Skathis, if you want to carry on leading, it's up to you, but we need to solve this problem, because being in here is not fun.
I look over at Adok and I'm like, this guy's a little bit weird.
Skathis looks at Karnos and motions him forward with his hand.
Hey, Carlos goes.
Yeah, guys, if you want to, just as a point of reference, because we've got quite a few in the chat now, if you guys want to say something, just can we get, hate to do this, but can we get a show of hands? If you've got something to say, just hold your hand up so I know who wants to say something, so I can call it out, make it just a little quicker, get through some of this dialogue. Just because I can be the DM that way. So,
It's a good idea.
Adok, did you want to say something to Mirabelle, who was motioning to you?
I was going to actually, like with the moaning, I was going to say if there's anywhere that I could duck and hide real quickly.
Probably the table, because I'd set you up here with up in the sort of open area with Zadriel, and the table would have been perfect height for you just to dive under pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, that's what Mirabelle would have seen. It's just adult beelining it for the table, ducking under.
Yeah, hiding behind the table leg, sort of peering out, looking at you.
Then after that, he would have just came out, yeah. After nothing happened, after the moaning stopped.
All right. Does anyone else want to do or say anything before we move forward, Mirabelle?
Actually, I probably would have looked at Adok and said that goblin.
Oh, you speak Goblin, don't you?
I do.
What do you say to him in Goblin?
Wrong button. I'm like, this guy's just a little bit nuts, don't you think?
I would reply back in Goblin and I'd go, he is absolutely fucking insane.
I love it. And Zadriel, you probably, everyone would have heard it, would have been loud enough for everyone to hear, but yeah, all you hear is the high-pitched sort of natterings of two goblins, basically. It's very squeaky and high-pitched and kind of raspy. Not a language that sounds very eloquent, shall we say. Very primal. With that, Karnos and Skathis move forward. Skathis waving Karnos to the lead. Karnos, you proceed forward, lighting the appropriate torches as you go. You then find yourselves descending another set of stairs, small set of stairs, and which opens up into a larger area here. A 4-foot diameter well is in the center of this room, several pillars holding the ceiling up. 4 alcoves are off this room. 5 alcoves, off this room. And this is where you find the beds and the footlockers. Each footlocker is locked with a rusty padlock. But just open this up just a little bit so you can see it. So essentially you've come down the stairs at the top, sort of the top here, and you've now opened up this area here. So Karnos and Skathis are the first to see it, and the rest of you sort of follow into the room. I'm assuming Emilia will aid the cannon down the stairs once again, bringing up the rear. But you are faced now with a large open area, a well, and 5 bedrooms. Karnos.
Karnos will head into the first room at the top and search there. That is it for this round.
Okay, so you don't need to investigate. It's again similar sort of setup to the other rooms, but these bed frames are much more sturdier made, and they actually have sheets and a proper blanket on them and a pillow of sorts, although very old and somewhat tattered, but definitely much finer beds and linen than were on the previous beds that you found. The wooden chest, it's a simple wooden chest, simple wooden footlocker, but again it is locked with a little rusty lock.
Can I bash it with the back of my axe just
You
to
certainly
try
could.
not to lock?
Roll a strength check for me, please.
14.
14. You raise your axe one-handed and you bring it down on the lock, and it's been here for quite some time. It's a bit rusty, and it does. The padlock comes away from the lock itself, leaving the hasp just hanging. That horseshoe-shaped part of the lock just hanging in the hasp.
Sweet. Alright, just lift the lid and see what's in there.
You open up. This chest, as you look down, contains 11 gold pieces and 60 silver pieces, and a small pouch. Or the coins are in a small pouch, should I say. Not like any pouch you've seen before. It's a very odd shade of leather, but it's very leathery. Not something that you've noticed. It's definitely not animal skin. I'm not sure you'd know what type of skin it is, but it's odd. It feels odd even to touch it, but that's about all you find in that particular footlocker.
Karnos takes, I guess, the coins were in the pouch,
They were in the pouch, yes.
He sort of quickly counts it and leaves one gold piece behind because it's a weird number, 11. And he takes 10 gold, 60 silver and the pouch and ties it to his belt and says, just some coins in here, guys. And that's it for him for now.
Anyone else want to do anything in this area? Adok doesn't want to touch anything. He is paranoid as all shit. He's just hanging around Zadriel, trying to remain as calm as he possibly can. Kathis.
Emilia first.
Emilia. Hello.
That one.
What's the well like? Is it like a bucket sort of job? Or?
Yeah. There's a frame up above it, which is not high up above it. It's just hanging sort of across the well itself. The well is raised like 3 feet off the ground, and the frame is just like a piece of wood that's been lashed across the top of it with a bucket tied to it. There's no handle to wind up. It's drop the bucket in and pull it up by hand. And the bucket's sitting on the side. The rope looks like it might hold. If you look down it, you can look into darkness. You think you can see water at the bottom. You're not 100% sure. It's pretty dark down there.
Emilia's going to lower the bucket.
So you're going to lower the bucket gently or drop it?
Lower it gently.
Okay. So you lower it. It takes you a little while. It's a long rope, and eventually the rope goes slack in your hands, and you look. You've got a few more feet of rope to be able to use, and it sounded like it hit water.
Draw it back up again.
You want to try and catch some water in it, or just draw it back up?
Oh, just wait a few seconds and then draw it back up.
So, as you wait, you sort of swish it around. I mean, you know that you're going to have to try and tip the bucket over to get the bucket to tip to get water in it. You retrieve your bucket. It takes a few moments to bring it back up. It's not too heavy. It's only a small bucket. But you do bring it back up, but it is not water. The bucket.
Uh-oh.
It is some form of black sludge. Not unlike oil, but not quite as thick. And it stinks. It is not pleasant to smell at all.
Okay, I'm going to put the bucket on the ground and say, don't drink the water. Just definitely not water.
And Skathis, what did you want to do?
So no, I was just gonna do a check, see if there was any notes, anything written, seeing how the area is a little bit nicer than the previous area. It may be
Which
handwritten notes.
room specifically do you want to search?
All of them.
Well, you can't do them all at once. Which one did you want to search?
I will do the first one that Karnos went into.
So you wanted to search for any handwritten notes or anything like that?
Yeah.
Just roll investigation for that.
Oh, look. A bed and a chest. Yep, nothing.
Oh,
3.
3. Was that a natural 1? Was that just a...
No, that was a natural 3.
A natural 3. And you have no modifier. Awesome. So, yeah, you look around and it's a nice bed. Old, but musty, but it's seems comfortable enough, and now an open chest. In the bottom of the open chest, however, is a single gold piece.
Next.
You want to just continue moving around and searching for the same thing, just for notes, nothing else. Make 3 more investigation checks for me. While you're doing that, anyone else want to do anything while Skathis is scuttering around looking for notes and such? Mirabelle.
Can I drop a torch into the well?
Of oil?
You want to
No,
drop
we
the
don't
torch into a well of black stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
So while she's doing that, 13, 19, 13.
13, 19, 13. So with those rolls, as you go through each room looking for written notes or anything like that, nothing in each of the rooms catches your eye. Again, each room has a locked footlocker and a bed, but nothing really else. Mirabelle, do you have a tinderbox to light your torch, by any chance? In your inventory.
Yes, I do.
Do you light it and drop it into the well, or do you just drop an unlit torch into the well?
No, I'd drop a lit torch. I was gonna chuck a fire, I was gonna do burning hands, but I thought that'd be a waste of a spell slot, so I just chuck a
So you light it.
torch down.
As you all are waiting around while people are sort of searching around this area, you watch Mirabelle grab a torch out of her pack. She's looking at the well, she's looking at the torch, she's looking at the well, sparks up the torch, and then wanders over and just nonchalantly tosses the torch into the well. Mirabelle, as you probably are only just tall enough to peer over the edge of this well, you hear that flame as it goes into the darkness, and you hear it go.
Does it sound like a very long way?
It was, and torch extinguished in whatever liquid is in the bottom of this well, and nothing else happens.
Right then. So it's just definitely not anything that's flammable down there. Just
Not the greatest way to find out, but yes, it's not flammable.
I'm guessing I couldn't have actually seen over anyway.
Oh, you could. It's only three and a half, sort of three and a half feet. You would have just been able to see.
Yeah.
Adok, you have something to say?
I just want to go over to the black sludge, and if I can, put my finger in the black sludge and then lick it and see if I can identify what it is.
You put your finger in the sludge, definitely, and it's cold, it's sticky, it stinks, it almost burns your nose hairs. It's quite pungent. Not unlike rotting cabbage. It's got a very disgusting smell. You put it to the tip of your tongue, and I'll need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
I got a nat 1.
A natural 1 on the con save for young Adok. Adok, as you press this disgusting smelling sticky substance to the tip of your tongue, instantly the end of your tongue goes numb. Then that numbness seems to expand rather quickly. Now your entire tongue is numb. The left hand side of your face starts to go numb. And then all of a sudden you can't feel your face at all. You try and talk, and it's just like, it's like going to the dentist and you just shot your whole face full of anesthetic. You can't feel your lips, you can't feel your tongue, your face feels like it's a soccer ball. Everything's just numb. And even your eyes, you feel like you're almost sleepy because your eyes feel like they're numb too. It's just your whole head has just become totally numb, and you cannot speak properly.
With that, I'm going to just start slapping my face as I'm probably drooling on the floor, trying to stop, get some feeling back. Looking at Mirabelle in panic.
What are you doing?
I go over and start slapping him as well.
Yeah, but what are you doing?
And that's pretty much it. He tries to speak, but he's drooling. He sounds like he's been to the dentist.
Would we have any idea of what this was?
Probably not. Anyone who wants to try and determine what it is would have nature check. Actually, Mirabelle, yeah, no, you probably wouldn't know anything anyway. You've never smelt anything like it. You've never seen anything like it, that's for sure.
And I only got an 11.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't really know. You sort of give it a sniff and it burns your nose. It's like, whoa, no, I'm not touching that. It's pretty foul. And yeah, Adok's still slapping his face and he's trying to speak, but nothing's coming out.
Just pinching his face, and I'm like, can you feel that? No? Help!
I got a 15 on my nature check.
15? Yeah, so Fibblestib walks over and again, you give it a sniff and it stinks, and you know not to taste it, obviously, with what's just happened. But even if you put your finger in it, you grab it and you pinch your fingers together, and it's quite sticky, and you feel that tingling on your finger the longer it stays on your hand. And although you don't know what it is, you have a feeling there's a plant extract that can paralyze, and just the smell, the stickiness, the colour kind of reminds you of this plant. You're not 100% sure what the plant is, but you can pretty much say that this is obviously a diluted version of it. It's obviously seeped into the water source, and if Adok was to actually ingest anything further, it probably would have paralysed his whole body. It is temporary. It probably won't last. You're not sure how long with its dilution, but yeah, it's not. It doesn't seem to be. You don't think it'll be permanent.
Is he alright, people, Steve?
You're a little quiet again, Adam.
Yeah. Okay. Can't finger, can't feel. Paralyzed.
I would like to lay on hands on Adok first to see if that helps. It cures disease or neutralizes poison. I don't know. I'm just seeing.
So you're going to lay on hands?
Yeah, just 1 point.
Just 1 point? And that neutralizes poison too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Just to see.
as you, Adok, you watch as Zadriel sort of comes up and places a hand on your shoulder, and you get a really warm, her hand gets really hot for a second, and then the feeling starts to return slowly. First your eyes, your forehead, your cheeks start to flush and feel warm again, and then you start to feel that feeling come back into your tongue, and eventually you still can't speak 100% proper. Your tongue still feels tingly and a little numb, but the rest of your face has returned to somewhat normality. And it seems to have reduced, if not completely removed, whatever this effect was.
You're welcome, I think.
It'll take a few minutes, but after a few minutes you'll come back to normal. It's starting to wear off slowly. Anyone else wish? Emilia, what were you wanting to do?
After seeing all of this, Emily is going to say, "I'm sorry, I can't help with stupid." So I'm going to go into the room on the left and investigate it.
So the investigations are all the same. You guys, it's a bed, it's a locked chest. If you're wanting to unlock the chest, you'll either have to try and pick it or break it.
I'm going to try and break it with my quarterstaff.
Okay. Strength check for me, please.
Whatever B is +1, 21.
21. So that's a natural 20.
Oh, wait. 21.
So that is a natural 20. So yeah, you look at this lock and go, You grab your staff and just go, whack, and the thing just disintegrates into several pieces across the floor. It's old and rusted. You even put a bit of a dent in the front of this footlocker. You just don't know your own strength sometimes. And with that one, you open it, and it's got a black leather eye patch with a small gem in it, sewn into the front. Small red gem.
Okay, I'll take that and see if I can get the gem out of it.
Easy enough to cut the gem off. If you had a dagger with you, you could cut. I think you have a dagger, so yeah, it's easy enough to cut the gem off the eye patch. It's just sort of sewn on. So just in your notes, just put a small red gem. You don't know what the gem is, but it looks like it might be worth something.
Excellent.
So you have you've searched 2 footlockers in this area. You got 3 more if you wish to continue to search. And
In this case, we'll go up to the 3rd footlocker and pretty much do the same thing.
you're gonna attempt to break. Which one you got? Give me B, D, or E. You got three left to search.
We'll go D.
D. So roll a strength check if you wish to try and break the lock.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
What are you trying to break it with?
The butt of my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't put enough strength into it. 10.
10. Funny enough, it's enough. It takes you a couple of goes, but you do finally get it. And you open this chest, and in this chest is a hairbrush. But it looks like it's made from some kind of bone with silver bristles. Looks like it could be worth something. You never know.
I just leave it there.
Just leave it there? Okay. And is that it for everyone? Anyone else want to... You got 2 more chests you could search? Or do you want to carry on?
I'll go to the next chest.
Emilia?
And I'll go to another one.
You're muted. Emilia.
Yeah, I know, sorry. I was going to offer to go to one, but if there's 2 volunteers, I won't.
Okay, so
As you say, I
Fiddlestib,
could go to one as well.
B or E, Fiddlestib?
I'll go E.
E. And who wanted to go to B?
I'll go B. Oh,
Okay. So roll your strength checks if you wish to break the locks or try and pick them, Fiddlestib.
I'm going to pick it.
Okay, sleight of hand.
21.
Yeah, yours is easy. As you went to E, didn't you?
Yeah.
So with you look at the lock and you go, old, and you just stick your lockpicks in, quick flick of the wrist, and the lock gives up its secret, falls to the ground. You open the chest, and in this chest is a short sword. A very shiny short sword. Looks like it's made from silver, in fact. A very shiny, new. Looks like it's never been used.
I'll pick it up and go,
Toothpick. Big toothpick.
So, silvered short sword is what you have found. Skatus, strength check on B.
16.
This one's a little bit easier. You one-shot it, open the chest, and it contains 3 small green gems in a folded piece of black cloth.
I'll leave it.
You leave them there?
Yep.
No problem. So, you've investigated the 5 rooms, discovered the footlocker's secrets, discovered the secret of the well, inadvertently, through Adok, and now what do you wish to do? You have another corridor at the bottom of this room leading away back to the south.
I'm gonna go over to Adok and go, weapon for you. And then head south.
Do you hand him the silvered short sword?
silver sword.
gonna take it, look at it, and go. I don't exactly know how to. It's thank you.
Sharp end person.
Noted.
Yeah, pointy
Just-
end
just-
towards bad person.
Yeah, just not sharp end into Limpy over there.
Yeah.
I make no promises.
Was that loud enough that everyone would have heard it? Or was that in a more private exchange?
About the Limpy,
Yeah.
probably more private.
So you said it in a lowered voice.
Yeah.
Roll perception for me, Carlos. But as a human, you would be pretty observant, especially where Adoc's concerned at this point.
I'll tell you, it's my night for rolling nat 20s on nothings.
Did you roll on that 20?
Nat 20 plus 0, so yep, nat
Holy
20.
shit. So yeah, you probably didn't catch the entirety of what was said, but they definitely were talking about you. You know, they said something between them. There was something about you mentioned. You did overhear your name, and because you know they've been calling you Limpy. So
Carlos does not mind.
okay. With that, we will take a short break before we move any further. Ladies and Germanies, bear with us for a few moments while we take a short recess, have a pee break, and everything else we need to do.
Coffee.
We will be right back after these messages. When I find my button. And we are back. Just waiting on the rest of the players to return.
I've got an idea for a new character too.
We haven't killed this one yet.
Give me a chance to kill you
Yeah,
first.
so let me kill you before you make a new one.
This is for another campaign, but I don't know how to work it though. I've been watching Doom Patrol.
The thing is, I mean, creating characters is cool. I mean, if you can create a character, that's awesome. I got multiples as well. But it really depending on the campaign you're going to run it in, depends on whether it's homebrew or special content. It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a character with personality disorders.
That's really easy. I mean, as a DM, I play multiple personalities all the time, so
He's 3 different people every day. And
Pretty
we've got
much.
to try living with it.
5 different people get it right, at least.
Sleepy, grumpy, and I don't know what the other one will be.
63 different
Sleepy,
personalities.
grumpy, angry, dopey.
53 personalities, all of them Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, that's it. That works for me.
I don't see how Trashman could do multiple personalities when it's hard for him to just do one.
I was just going to say that.
They're all female and they don't like to talk.
All right.
Skathis a female?
No,
No.
he's a male, but doesn't like to talk much.
I
he
would
may
like-
open up during the
beard.
yeah. He may decide to talk more as the campaign goes further forward, but we'll see. Anywho, are we all ready to re-enter the Barovian or the dungeon of the Durst Manor?
The Barovian nightmare.
The Barovian jungle. Right, so you are currently in the what looks to be a dormitory of sorts. Several beds and several alcoves surround a main chamber with a well in the centre, which has housed some icky black goo, which Adok tasted and numbed his whole face. So you've searched the foot lockers and found various items, and now we are pretty much where you are. Kanos.
Just as a note, Karnos would have emptied the coins from the pouch he found and put them into his own pouch.
Yep.
And then in the coin pouch, he wanted to carefully, using one of his daggers, scoop some of the goo into the new weird-looking coin pouch he found.
Okay.
A couple of tablespoons full, if I
Yep,
may.
that's fine. Make a note of that. Emilia.
Emily is going to basically say out loud, in that room there, in that box, there is an eye patch with a hole in it. Is there anything else that anyone else has found that they have left?
I left a gold coin in the chest back there.
Skathis points at the two chests. He's looked out and just waved his arms backwards and forwards.
So make what you will of that. But
Or,
did you want to go check?
yeah, I would go check and basically take whatever I found.
Okay, so single gold coin from the first chest.
Got in that box.
3 small green gems. And a bone and silver hairbrush.
Is it?
It's just 3 small gems and a bone brush with silver bristles.
One gold coin.
1 gold coin, yeah.
Okay. We're going to put the gold coin.
Just put it in your currency and just click on, go to your equipment and you'll see your gold at the top right. Just click on that and you'll see below that you'll see boxes to put platinum, gold, copper, whatever. So put 1 in gold and then just click add.
Aha, excellent, thank you.
No problem. So with that, it is now back to you. What do you wish to do? Where you can go now. Continue heading south down another small corridor and up a small set of stairs. or you can go back to where you came. Adok.
Is there like a jar or a container or something in the room that we're in?
Not that you can see.
That's alright. Don't worry about it then.
So, what are we doing, people?
Gonna head to the next spot that we haven't gone to.
So, you want to continue heading south? You all follow Zadriel as she continues to head to the next corridor, which leads out of this room to the south.
Yes.
You all move slowly out of this room, leaving the well behind. You now move into I will bring this up and so you guys can see it. Makes this a little easier for you guys to follow a little bit. Bring it about there. So, you leave this room at this end here, the left-hand side of this area. You go up the small set of stairs. Again, Karnos, you still lighting the appropriate torches as you continue along the way?
Yeah, just the main ones, yeah.
So what you see here is you go up a small set of stairs and you get to a small landing. There's another small stairwell leading upwards and with a corridor then turning to your right. And a corridor that leads to the west. The corridor that leads to the west, even with the dim light, the light that you have got in this area and those that are dark vision, is about 50 feet long, and it looks like it goes to another stairwell. Which way are you going?
Where we pointed, Zadriel? What were you thinking?
I was thinking the longer direction. West, you said? The longer corridor?
Yeah. That's this one. This one here leads to the west.
Alright, if you're happy to lead, that's cool. Otherwise, tell me where you want and I'll trudge on forward to save the deaths of our... And he looks back around amongst everyone of our recruits.
So you continue westward.
down.
Stabbing.
So you continue forward. You get to the end of this corridor, and you now are faced to your immediate left going south because you're heading westward down this corridor. To your immediate left is another small stairwell leading upwards and leads into a area which looks to be another corridor which turns left and right as well. You've got a small staircase leading down which turns to your right. You can't see this stairwell here at the moment, but essentially you've got a stairwell leading down, a stairwell leading up.
Thoughts, anyone? It looks like we are in a maze.
What's a
Yep.
maze?
Speak up.
I said, what's a maze? And would I know what maze is? I probably would.
You've heard the term maze before. It's what you grow in a field.
Well, yes, that's why I'm looking at her funny. But there's no corn around.
You grow it in the field in the rows. I'm getting your accent. And then you get lost in it. And you get lost in it. And that's why it's called a maze. Because it's, yeah. Huh?
Oh, no, we generally pick it and then cook it and then we eat it. Or we feed it to the cows, whatever.
Well, which way should we go?
You know, this reminds me of a place that I hung out in once. It was like a church, and there was these bad things going on, and we had to go beneath this church and then just kept going and going and going, and everything seems so random. And this house is like it's like a never-ending space of turning corners and ways and places.
Zadriel.
Adriel picks the one on the east, right? The one that's not the stairwell.
Skatus does the same thing.
So you go up the stairs or down the stairs?
I'm just
You've
walking
got
behind
you've got an upstairs and a downstairs.
I was going to go up.
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 So that leads you back towards the south again as you go up the stairs. Skathis goes up, Zadriel goes up. Does everyone follow?
Yes.
As you reach the apex of this stairwell, you find yourselves face to face as you step forward from the right-hand corner of this corridor. You hear the shuffling sounds, and as you turn, Skathis, because you were the first to say that you were heading that way, you come face to face with a kind of like a zombie, but its features got no eyes. It's just black holes where its eyes should be. Its mouth's hanging open. Its skin is pulled taut against its face, and it sort of is shuffling forward, not unlike a zombie. And as you come around the corner and come face to face with thing, it just looks, as much as it can do, turns and looks directly at you, and lifts its hands towards you. We will need to roll initiative, please. 1 second. Righty ho then. So we will need Carnos's initiative first, please.
That is a 12.
12. Why is that not letting me? Oh, that's why. 12. Edok.
9.
9. Skatus.
13.
13. Mirabelle.
8.
8. Zadriel.
10.
10. And Fibblestib.
4.
Oh, God. Emilia.
12.
12. So, top of the round is you, Skathis. As this creature reaches out for you as you come around the corner, you notice behind it is a second one that had its back to you, and as this creature has reached out for you and made this groaning, moaning sound, the other one slowly turns and starts staggering forward towards you. What are you doing?
Would I be able to use the staff to shove?
Yeah, you could do if you wish to. You'd probably be able to do that instead of doing. Yeah, well, you could shove it back. Would have to make a strength check to see whether you were strong enough to shove it back.
I'll attack it instead.
Okay, so you're going to attack it with your quarterstaff or hand to hand?
Quarterstaff.
Okay. Roll to hit, sir.
22 to hit.
I think that'll hit.
3 damage.
3 damage as you strike out at this ghoulish creature that has reached out to try and grab you as you've turned this corner. It takes the damage, but you look at it and you sort of hear this dull thud as your quarterstaff hits it upside, almost on the shoulder, and you're going for the head but didn't quite get there, and it sort of rocks back a little bit and then it doesn't seem phased and carries on trying to reach out and grab you. Anything else you would like to do? Bonus action, movement. Muted.
I'll save the bonus.
Okay, so you're just going to stay where you are?
Yeah.
Next up is Karnos. Emily, you're on board after that. So Karnos, you're probably 2 or 3 deep. The corridor's wide enough that you can sort of scoot past if you needed to. And you've heard this moan, and if you look up ahead, you can see this. All you see from your position is just a hand reaching out for Skathis as he gets to the corner of the corridor.
So how far away am I from this point?
Probably about 10 or 15 feet from him, I imagine. So you'd be able to get there in your movement.
So, yeah, so I can see the one in front of him, but just not the one beyond.
Yeah, you can't see, or you probably can't even really hear the one beyond.
Okay, so I see Skathis getting attacked, and the first thing I do is Karnos sort of leaps forward with his battle axe, doesn't worry about his shield, he's still got it on his back, and runs right up to help Skathis see him get grabbed, and he says, "This is where I shine, mate. Heroes be told." And he just swings that battle axe two-handed. I'm going to go across, try to sweep out at the hips, try not to cut Skathis at the same time.
roll to hit.
Don't roll one.
That's too good for that. Oh, this is good. So 22 to hit.
22 to hit. That does hit.
And because I'm swinging sideways, I'm going to spend a superiority die and do a trip attack.
No worries.
Try and trip it up to lay it prone. So that will be D10 plus 6. He takes. Oh, this is pretty poo for that amount of dice. 5 damage, and he needs to roll a strength save.
A strength save. Fails with a 2.
Okay, so he is now prone.
That would be a natural 1 for those in the chat.
Nice. So the enemy is now prone. I tried to cleave him in half, but it looks like I've knocked him down.
So he is indeed prone. You swing forward with your battle axe, and just the force and weight of the axe going in sort of hip height knocks this reanimated corpse over. It hits the wall and then sort of slumps down the wall and is down, lying prone at your feet.
And I miscalculated there too. I forgot to add the +4 because I'm not used to being a warrior. So, so there's an extra 4 on that. So there's 9 damage total.
No worries. And it seems to have taken a substantial amount of damage as well. It's looking pretty bloodied. With that, is that your turn, Karnos?
Yes, I want to stay in the fray. I look back to see if Emilia saw anything.
Did Emilia see anything? She's right at the back, but it's your turn now, Emilia. You probably you'd hear what's going on up in front, I would imagine.
I would basically look around to see if the cannons come. If it's not, then help it down the stairs.
Well, you probably would have had to help it up the stairs at this point.
I help it up the stairs. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're probably not even You're probably at the base of the stairs. You probably haven't even made it up the stairs at this point because with the links, 5 or 6 of you, so 7 of you. So yeah, you probably are still at the base of the stairs at this point. But you can hear the scuffle that's going on above.
Pick up the cannon and carry it up the stairs.
Okay.
That's
So you just move forward.
Yeah.
To get a better position. Zadriel, you would have been right up there with Skathis. Karnos shoots past you to get into the fray. You've seen this creature. You've seen Karnos attack it. You've seen it be pushed out of your line of sight. It is now your turn with Adok on board after that.
Warhammer? Or...
So you run forward to join the fray. You're probably going to have to move Skathis or basically push through Skathis and Karnos to get to this creature. And as you both, actually Karnos, as you and Zadriel both round the corner to make your attacks, you see the second one shuffling forward down the corridor.
Oh, so I see the second one before I get there?
Well, you'll see that as you round the corner, you'll see the one lying prone. That's Karnos has just attacked. And behind that one, by about another 10 feet further down the corridor, is another one shuffling forward.
Okay, I'm going to hit the prone one for 18.
You will have advantage on that too, so roll it again just in case you get a nat 20.
Nope.
Nope. So 18 does hit. Roll your damage.
That would be for 6.
6 points of damage as you bring your warhammer down. Remember, on your first attack, you get an extra +2 because of your extra strength.
So 8.
So it'll be 8 points of damage, which has crushed bone and sinew. A dark green blackish ichor is oozing from the wound as you've crushed several ribs and one arm of this creature as it lies on the ground with your warhammer. It is not looking healthy at all. Is that your turn?
How far away is the second one?
About 10 or 15 feet. So you would have enough movement to reach it if you wished.
Actually, I'm gonna hit it with Ensnaring Strike, which is a bonus action spell.
Do you have to?
Can I do that? Can I do a hit and do a bonus action or spell?
Your bonus
or no?
action, your Ensnaring Strike is for your warhammer. I believe it's a paladin. It's designed on your next hit.
Okay, it's a paladin spell, so it's my oath.
Just give
Alright,
me,
I'm
give
gonna
me a quick look.
move up to it if I can't do that.
Let's have a look at your spells here, because a lot of your spells for paladins are designed to go onto your warhammer. So Ensnaring Strike. So
First level.
yeah, the next time you hit a creature, so you can cast it on your weapon, but it won't actually
cast
be
it on my weapon.
Yeah, it won't be in effect until the next time you hit a creature.
Okay, I'm just gonna move up to him then. The next one and hold.
So are you going to cast Ensnaring Strike on your weapon, or are you just going to do something else?
If I cast, I can't move, right?
You can do, yeah, you can still move.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll cast it and then move. Yep.
So cast Ensnaring Strike and move up to the second creature. Just remember, when you hit your next time you hit a creature, you can use the Ensnaring Strike because it's now on your weapon.
All right, thank you.
The same thing with your smites. So your like Searing Smite or anything like that is designed to go onto your weapon for the next time you hit something. So you can cast it first. Bonus action does not have to come second. So you've cast Ensnaring Strike on your weapon and you've moved towards the second ghoul as it is shuffling towards you. With that, it is now Adok's turn.
Great. So I've got 30 feet of movement. Can I get to the corridor and sort of peek my head around the corridor and look at what's going on?
You certainly can. You'll see a zombie-like creature lying prone on the ground, looking very much the worse for wear. And you'll see Karnos and Scathus ready to attack that one again. Or they've just attacked that. You've just seen, as you sort of crest the corner, Zadriel has knocked this one as it's gone prone, and she's moved forward to a second one, shuffling further down the corridor.
Great. So my cannon can move independently from me.
Yes.
It can move 15 feet. So can it position itself in the corridor, pointing down towards the zombies? With
the fact that Emilia has moved it to the top of the stairs, yes, you can then move it, which will be 10 feet, to the corner and have it aim down the corridor.
So it's going to aim down the corridor, and then as I'm peeking around the corner, have a look at what's going on. I'm just going to yell out to everyone down the corridor, and I'm just going to go, on the count of 3, duck. And that'll be my turn.
That'll be your turn? Okay. Next up is the ghoul's turn. So the first one, the one that is shuffling towards you, Zadriel, as you've moved forward, it's moved up to meet you and is now in your face, arms outstretched, head tilted to one side, mouth draped open, no eyes, just black holes where the eyes should be, and you can feel the breath of this creature on your face as it sort of reaches out and it doesn't smell very nice, bad breath, and it will make a bite attack to you with an 11 to hit.
That misses.
That is a miss, and it'll then also reach out and try and claw at your face as well, which is a 7, which also misses. So it is not very good. Misses you completely. The one on the ground is going to attempt to get up. several crushed ribs and crushed bones in its arm. One arm's dangling, not really doing much, and it does stand and reaches out for you, Skathis, making a claw attack with a 15 to hit.
That's a hit.
That's a hit. It will do 10 points of slashing damage. And you'll need to make a con save as well, please.
13.
13, that is a success. You feel this pain where it slashes you across the upper shoulder and neck, and it was very, very painful, and you feel up to the wound, and you reach down, it's got a real nasty black-green goo in the wound, and it looks not unlike the goop that was in the well. But you managed to fight off the effects. Mirabelle, it is now your turn. Fibblestub, you're up after that. So Mirabelle, you're towards the back, so you can 20 feet of your movement will get you to the corner. You'll see from there the one that's just stood up and has raked at Skathis. It's not looking too good, and you'll see one about 10 feet further down the corridor having a go at Zadriel. The cannon is in the corridor. You can step around it, but it is there. You've heard Adok say on the count of 3 duck. What are you doing?
Can I just, because obviously he's a bit hurt, can I get him to make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Who?
Going to cast the one that's closest.
Oh, you want to? Well, you got to tell me who. So the zombie close or the ghoul closest, you want to wisdom save?
Yes, please.
Which is a 19.
It saves, so he doesn't get anything.
That was a
it's
natural
totally
19.
dead.
You hear the church bell gong in the distance, and the creature twitches but doesn't seem to have taken any effect or damage from your spell. Bonus action.
I think I have any.
No, I don't think you do at this level. That's
So
nothing
I'm just
decent
going
anyway.
to stay. I could always run and hit it with my quarterstaff, but I think I'll just stay where I am.
Yeah, well, that was a cantrip, wasn't it? So it's still an action. So you wouldn't have been able to hit with your quarterstaff.
No.
Fibblestep. It is your turn with Skathis on board after that.
I'm gonna do the same thing as what Adok does.
So you move to the corner.
Go up to the corner, and then look at everyone and go, can't do anything. And then cast Firebolt at the one closest to Skathis and...
Okay. So roll to hit.
9.
That is a miss. Your firebolt goes wide, barely missing Skathis in the process, hitting the wall behind this creature and exploding harmlessly on the wall. But it's quite loud in this quite enclosed space. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, we're back at the top of the initiative order with Skathis. This creature has reached out and raked across your upper shoulder and neck. Has opened a pretty nasty wound. What do you do?
Right, my turn, is it?
Yes. Your name's Skathis, is it not?
Yeah, okay. So with that, I drop my staff, and because it hit me, I'm using Fist of Unbroken Air against it, using up 2 key points.
So you're going to strike out with your fists.
It needs to make a DC 10 strength save.
And it'll roll its strength save and rolls a 14. On a failure, it takes 3d10 bludgeoning damage. Man, this monks are so OP at this level. Holy crap.
So just 3d10, yeah?
Yeah, so 3d10 bludgeoning damage plus an extra d10 for each additional key point you spend.
Which I'm not using.
Okay, so 3d10. That is so nuts.
13.
As you strike out with your amazing monk shit, you drop your staff, ready yourself, calm yourself, center your key, and strike out with a massive uppercut, and removing the creature's head in the process. As its head tears from its body with a sickening, a really sickening tearing sound, flesh from flesh, bone cracking, the head across the floor lands right in front of you, Adok, in fact, and the rest of its body sort of hangs there for a moment, then slumps backward with a sickening thump and thud as it hits the floor, and then falls lifeless at your feet. And is dead. You now have a movement, if you wish. There is another creature about 10 feet from you.
Yeah, moving up to that one.
You're moving forward
just
to
get
aid
ready.
Zadriel. So you move up next to Zadriel to aid her with her creature, Karnos. It is now your turn with Emma Lear up after that.
So Karnos would like to move up to the one with Zadriel, but try to. Can he get past it without leaving its zone? Flank it tight.
You would definitely move into combat with it. It would definitely get an attack as you were trying to scooch past it. There's not a huge amount of room in this corridor.
That's right.
So it would definitely turn and try and attack you as you sort of try to get around past it.
In that case, I'll get up beside her and whatever side she's on, I'll try and swing clear of her because it's a big wild swing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same sort of thing. I'm going to take a wild swing and try and take its leg off on my side. Same thing.
Same thing. Trying to trip attack as well.
I'm going to do a trip attack again. Yeah, using my extra ability.
Roll.
So rolling. If I hit, it's a bit low. This one, 12.
That does hit.
It does hit.
It does.
Okay, so that is a trip attack of a D8 and a D10.
And that's a strength save as well?
Strength save, yep. That's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage and a strength save.
That's a massive damage, but he makes the save with a 17.
He makes the save.
He does not go prone. However, with the amount of damage dealt in that single blow, you do manage to sever one of its arms and leave... you were going for its legs, weren't you?
Correct, yeah.
So, while it does not sever, you hit it, you misjudge and sort of go a little higher on the leg than anticipating and catch it just below the hip bone. That cuts deeply, almost severing the leg. It's not steady on its feet, it's not looking too healthy, but it is still standing.
Right. And then, once again, Karnos will just look back and realizing that Adok has said, duck, he's like, says the same thing as Zadriel. Oh, by the way, duck. And he ducks as the rest of his turn.
Okay. Emilia, you're up. With Zadriel, you're on board after that.
I'm going to move to the corner, look around the corner. Because I'm still out of...
Yes, you are. When you get to line of sight, you will see what you would have probably seen come around is Karnos striking the second creature and leaving... it's kind of muddled. You've got three of them down there with this creature, but you would have seen him strike with his axe. The creature's still standing. You see the one creature headless on the floor, the cannon. Adok and Pibblesip at the corner. You sort of have to go around them to see down the corridor. And Mirabelle's hanging around on that corner sort of area as well. It's getting a little crowded, but it's not too bad.
I'm effectively going to say I only got melee attacks, so I'm not going to be of any use, so I'm going to pass.
Okay, so he's going to just wait and let them do it?
Yep.
No problem. So Zadriel, that is up now your turn.
I'm going to raise up my Warhammer and strike for 23.
That hits.
And that is 12 damage.
12 damage, and you're ensnaring strike.
Yeah, that is a strength saving throw.
don't need to worry about it. Describe the demise of this ghoulish creature as you strike it with your warhammer.
I'm gonna swing down and just try and crush it as much as I can.
Okay.
And then look at Adok and say, sorry.
So as you strike down with your warhammer, you indeed, with a very forceful attack, you come down with all your might. Just, you were going for the head, it sort of moves slightly, so you catch it just in the sort of clavicle, shoulder, the collarbone, half its neck and shoulder, and with such a force that all of you, Skathis and Karnos especially, the breaking of bones and the squelching of undead flesh as the warhammer connects, and you just keep bringing the weight down on the hammer until this creature is sort of a crumpled mess beneath your hammer. There's just goop everywhere. Your warhammer's covered in this green blackish ichor. The smell is not pleasant, but we are no longer in initiative. Well done, people.
Now that is what I call a heroic feat, Zadriel. And he kind of taps her on the shoulder, like, you know, in a friendly, good job sort of way.
Thank you. Well, now we have to decide where to go now.
Yes, so you are now standing in a corridor with two dead creatures. And, so you, now that you've actually opened this corridor up a little bit more to the east.
Adok, come on.
Adok, do you release your cannon, by the way?
Well, that was what I was about to say. Is the head still moving?
No, it doesn't seem to be.
Because having the head fall in front of me, I would have shit myself, screamed, and the cannon would have fired, and then I would have like wildly swung with the sword that I've been given by Fiddlestead at the head.
Okay, so how are we going to do this? Roll a d6. Actually, no, there's three of them down there, isn't there? So there's three people directly in line of sight of this. Karnos, you said you were ducking, so you definitely ducked. So yeah, roll a d6. 1 to 3. 1 to 3, you hit Skathis. 4 to 6, you hit Zadriel.
It's a 2.
It's a 2, so it's Skathis. So roll to hit for 1, because that's just the target.
So it's a projectile, yeah?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's force damage, isn't it? Does it fire an actual projectile, or is it's magic?
Look, am I muted? No. Okay, I'm gonna leave it up to your discretion. It's a force ballista, so it fires out force at 120 feet. It just says pure force, and whoever gets hit is pushed back 5 feet as well.
Yeah, so I would say that it's not a projectile. So it's not like an arrow or a cannonball or something like that. So it's spell damage. So roll to hit like you normally would.
Yeah, it's a 21.
That
Ouch.
definitely hits Skathis, and roll your damage.
It's 10.
10 points of force damage on Skathis as the head hits the ground. Adok screeches and and accidentally fires off his cannon, and then starts hacking at the head with his short sword, which turns it into mincemeat quite easily. Skathis, are you still standing?
Barely, but yes.
But you take the full force of this cannon in your side. Yeah, it's not good. Karnos.
Just as a quick, Carlos says, well, he did tell you to duck.
This is true. But we are out of initiative now. Adok is continually hacking away at this zombie head, or ghoulish head at his feet, just freaking out. But yes, you now have 2 dead ghouls. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna look at Adok and Adok, it's dead again. It's okay. And I'm gonna go up to Skathis, tap him on the shoulder, and he's gonna get 8 hit points back.
You can't touch me on the shoulder.
You're too short.
Touch you on your hand.
He reaches up and really creepingly grabs your hand,
That's
and you get 8 points of healing. It's kind of like a child just reached up and grabbed your hand, Skathis. And you look down, and it's Fibblestab grinning at you. So 8 points of healing to you.
Yeah, I stuffed up a little bit.
You'll figure it out. Eventually.
Eventually.
What did you do?
I put the 8 into death, damage instead of heal.
Oh, that's easy enough. So I can fix it for you. What did you have before you went?
Done.
You got it?
Yeah. I had 1 health.
Okay, so you're good. Right, so.
Himalaya standing next to the cannon's going to go, oh, my tinnitus.
Does it make a loud sound when it fires, Adok? Like a cannon?
Again, I'm going to leave it up to your discretion, but I've always imagined that it's a huge booming force.
And I would assume so too. So yeah, it would have been really loud, and especially in this enclosed space. So everyone, especially those standing close to it. So Emilia, Mirabelle, Fibblestab, Adok, even Skathis, it would have been loud, and everyone else would have been loud too. But you guys would have been closest. Mirabelle.
I'm just going to put my hands in my ears and go, is anybody actually saying anything? I can't hear you.
And all Mirabelle hears is So, you have some options now. You can go back to the east, which is up on this map. There's a corridor leading up. You can go straight through, continuing south, or you can go west, which was the way where Zadriel, Karnos, and Skathis are now situated.
Karnos is amped up. He sort of looks at Zadriel and goes, "Shall we keep going?"
Well, we seem to find stuff this way, so I say we keep going this way.
Excellent. And Karnos just carries on west.
So you keep continuing west. Everyone else continue to follow. As Zadriel, Skathis, I'm assuming you're going to follow anyway. So Zadriel, Skathis, and Karnos continue to the west, following this corridor. Do the rest of you continue as well?
Yeah, seeing everyone leave, I would scamper quickly to everyone else.
So you move further to the west. You now find yourselves, and as you get there, in this area, it looks kind of like a bedroom, dining area kind of thing. It's kind of weird. I'll find my description at Turkey Tree. So,
where did we come from?
You've come from the top of this map, so you've come down through this corridor here. And you've now come down the corridor, you've entered into this room. The room contains a chandelier suspended above the table and chairs in the center of this room. There is a door, which you can see over that side, down the bottom of the map here. There is a door that's closed. There's a small corridor which looks like, if you move forward, looks like it leads into another small bedroom of sorts. It looks like there's a bed. Looks like there's a big chest at the end of the bed. But you guys are in this main room at the moment. So there's a few candlesticks hanging, candlesticks either side of the room, the table. Not much else in this room. What are you guys wanting to do? Mirabelle.
I'd like to go and have a look in the wee bedroom if I could.
So Mirabelle scuttles forward. Does anyone follow her or say anything?
Karnos will follow her just to keep her safe, make sure there's no more zombie-like creatures around.
I look back at him like, Piff. I have my wand.
So as you move forward, you move into this small bed chamber of sorts. It contains a large wood frame bed with a rotted feather mattress. Some of the feathers are starting to come out. A wooden wardrobe containing, looks like several old robes. The doors are hanging open. A pair of iron candlesticks either side of the bed. And a large wooden footlocker, which is closed.
Can I open that?
Do you wish to try and open it?
Yes, please.
You give it a bit of a... It's quite a big footlocker. It stands almost 3 feet, almost as tall as the bed. And you being the height and that you are, I need you to make a strength check for me, please.
Is Carlos still behind me?
Karnos is with you. And anyone else who wanted to follow you in?
I look at him and think, just give me a hand, please. I got a 10.
Quite certainly, young lady. And Karnos puts his axe back on the side of his pack and gives it a go.
With your assistance, it wouldn't be too hard to open it. The lid's a bit stiff.
That's 30-20.
Yeah, the lid was a bit stiff, and it didn't take much. You sort of reach out one hand and just give it a bit of a jerk, and it opens up quite. Again, the rusted hinges don't squeal loudly, but they make a grinding metal on metal sound as old hinges that have not been opened for quite some time. And what you see on the top of this footlocker is quite a fine cloak. It's been laid in over top of it, so it's covering everything else that's underneath it. All you see is this cloak at the moment. It's a sort of deep red coloured cloak, but it looks relatively new. And against all this dust and cobwebs and clutter, it just doesn't seem like it belongs.
I look at Carlos and I'm like, shall we pick that up and have a look underneath it?
Yeah, absolutely. Be my guest. I'll watch over you, young lady. And he pulls his axe back out.
Can I reach in to get it, or is it too high?
No, you could reach in to get it. You'd have to sort of tippy-toe to get it, but you'd reach in and you'd pull the cloak out. Way too big for you. It's a standard size cloak to fit most humanoids. Underneath, as you move the cloak out, and again, it's a very fine-looking cloak. Really nice material. Pretty cool looking. Underneath it, you find a small wooden coffer, and a couple, and there's a book in there as well. It's a yellow leather cover. It looks very it looks kind of cool. It looks like very similar to the book you carry as well.
Yeah. Can I read it?
Would you like to reach in and grab it?
If I can, I have visions of kind of like, that picture you see of the woman half in the washing machine and the legs hanging up.
It would be kind of like that, because as you pull the cloak out, the cloak's sort of been folded, and it's a bit of a stretch to reach in and grab the spell book, so it is sitting at the bottom of this thing. But you managed to get it. Okay. The moment that you touch the spell book, though, Karnos, you probably notice it first before she does, as she's got her head in this box. From behind you, you hear, "Not wise."
Karnos sort of spins around looking for something. Hey, what's there? I'll tell you what. I'll take your face off with my axe.
And as you turn and look at the wall behind you, which is just a wall, you see pushing outwards from the wall the visage of a gentleman that looks very familiar to you. Not unlike Gustav Durst, the man in the painting downstairs, or upstairs, should I say. And he then melts into the room, and we'll need to roll initiative once more.
Just because I looked that big. Bloody hell.
Jesus Christ, lady. This may not go well for you guys. One second. Didn't expect you to get this far, actually.
I'm surprised we're not dead yet.
I'm surprised you're not dead yet, to be honest. So, Karnos, your initiative.
But lower this time. 11.
11. Adok.
14.
14. Skatus.
21.
Nice. Mirabelle.
16.
16. Zedriel.
4.
Oh, that's a low one this time. Fiddlestep.
9.
9. And Emilia, or Emilia.
3.
Oh, wow. So, Skatus with a 21 is at the top of the initiative order once again. So, Skatus, you would have been not far behind Karnos, I would imagine, sort of moving forward into this room, and you are probably 20 or so feet away from them, but you do notice the figure now leaving the wall behind Karnos as Karnos turns and is now face to face with a semi-ethereal creature that in an instant turns into the most disgustingly frightening creature that you've ever seen, Karnos. So much so that you will need to make a wisdom saving throw, please. Think Raiders of the Lost Ark in scene as the creature face melts off and becomes very undead very quickly.
Just a 6.
Just a 6. You, sir, are frightened. And
I got a 9.
no, you're fine at this point, Skatus. You don't need to make that save. You're far enough away. But Mirabelle, you'll also need to make that save as you back out with this book in your hand and turn around just as this creature starts to transform. You'll also need to make a wisdom save, please.
Just about to ask what it was. Wisdom saving through. 19.
You are not frightened. You look at this. It does give you a bit of a start, but you manage to fight off that fight or flight, preferably the flight feeling as this creature presents itself. Karnos, you will be able to make that save again at the start of your next turn, but for the time being, you are paralyzed with fear. Skatus, it's your turn. You see this creature. You see Karnos sort of freeze momentarily as this creature comes at him. You get first initiative though.
Moving up to the target.
You
and
can
using my
easily move to the target.
And using my quarterstaff, which I picked up prior to moving on.
I would assume that. Just make sure you let me know that though. I assumed it.
Yeah. And taking a swing.
Taking a swing. Swing away,
With
sir. Swing
a
away.
dirty 20.
That hits.
Far out 3.
3 points of damage as you strike out this creature, and you sort of you give it a twack on the side of its head, and it sort of turns and looks at you in a very ghoulish manner. Its eyes, this one actually has eyes, but its eyes are milky white, and almost looks like it's fresh. It's really disgusting. It's dripping. Anyone who's seen Return of the Living Dead, think of the melting man from the basement of the medical warehouse in Return of the Living Dead creature. It's that dripping like that. It's skeletal. It's moving very sort of zombie-like as well, but a lot more menacing than the creatures you fought in the hallways just previously. Is that your turn, Skatus?
Yes.
Mirabelle, it is now your turn. You, however, will have to make a Constitution saving throw now, as this creature's moved forward into you and Skathis, you and Karnos, and this unbearable stench catches your breath.
4.
That is a failure. Your stomach cramps severely, and you are now poisoned until the start of its next turn. So you are at disadvantage, I believe, on your attacks on this creature. Just double check your poison condition.
Poisoned.
Yeah, your disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay, so I'm going to cast. Did it take any damage?
It did.
So I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
What's the save for that? Wisdom?
Save.
Rolls a natural 16.
It saves, damn it.
So it takes no damage once again as the church bell sounds and echoes through these chambers. Again, the creature doesn't even really pay any mind to you at all, as it does not take any damage or seem to be affected by your spell. Luckily you don't have to roll to hit or anything like that, but it would have had advantage on the save anyway. That is your turn. You can move if you wish, but you will take an attack of opportunity.
No, I'll stay where I am, and I'm just going to glitch the book and look at it. Like,
Adok, it is now your turn. From your position in the room, I'd say you were probably furthest away. You can see it. You're not happy about seeing it.
No.
But you can see it. You can see that it's attacking Mirabelle and Karnos, or it's in their presence. Skathis has rushed in and attacked it. What are you doing?
Can I see that Karnos is not moving?
He's sort of he's not paralyzed, but he doesn't seem to have acted at this point.
Right. I'm gonna yell down to Karnos and I'm gonna go, "What you doing, you dickhead?" And with that, my cannon again is gonna walk in and
To line of sight?
To line its sight. It's got a range of 120 feet.
Oh yeah, so you could easily walk it just in front of the table there and get line of sight.
Right, cool. So with that, I'm going to use my bonus action to fire the cannon at it.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Right. Shit.
And for God's sake, don't miss.
It's gone. I've lost it. Nope. There it is. Sorry.
It's all good.
Actually, I think I did. It's an 11.
You did miss.
Yeah.
But you didn't hit anyone this time. So you fired off that mighty boom of the cannon in this enclosed space, loud as shit again, but this time striking the wall harmlessly next to you, Skathis, is the force damage. Dust and that falls from the ceiling with the impact. But that is a miss, Adok. Anything else you wish to do?
Great. With that, I'm also then noticing that it's missed. I'm just going to mutter to myself and go, shit. I'm going to sling my backpack off and I'm going to start digging through my backpack.
Yep.
Looking for my blowgun.
No problem. And is that your turn?
That's my turn.
It is now the Ghast's turn. So, with that, it is going to reach out and make a claw attack against you, Karnos. And we'll roll a 7 and miss. So you are lucky. Strikes your armor, reaches out and rakes across. You sort of, even though you're terrified, you sort of half lean backwards and it strikes your armor. And it's getting. You can now smell that stench, and it's almost vomit-inducing. You're so close to it. It is now your turn, as it's not going to move. So you will need to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Yeah.
And you will also need to make another Wisdom save for me.
Alright, the Constitution save is a nat 20.
Another nat 20, so that is a natural 20. You do not seem to be suffering from the effects of the smell, and your wisdom save.
Yeah, that's not so good. 2.
2. You, even though you managed to fight off the feeling of wanting to vomit and with the smell, this creature, it's taken you by complete surprise, and you are frightened as hell of it. You will need to use your movement to get as far away as humanly possible from this creature in your turn.
Yep. This is still my turn, or is it the end of my
Still,
turn?
that's still your turn. You had to make the save at the start of your turn.
So as my move, I will pull my shield out and do exactly that, back straight into that like kitchenette area.
Okay, you will take an attack of opportunity as you do move
Correct.
away, which is a 13 to hit.
That misses.
That misses also. He strikes your armor across your shoulder as you turn, or don't even turn, you sort of bring your shield up, back away. It strikes your shield as you back away in terror.
Am I able to speak at this point?
You are.
Carlos, would he know that he's been magically affected?
It's not really a magical effect. It's
frightening.
just a terrifying visage. This thing changing its form in front of your face. It's just taking you by complete surprise. It's not something you've seen before, so it's just taken you by surprise, and it's frightened you at this point. So you're frightened of what it did, basically.
So with my shield up and my axe up, I back away, and I just say, I think I'm gonna need a drink after this. That's it.
And that's it. Fibblestib, you're up. Zedurel, you're on board after that.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Time to shine, Charlotte. Pull it out, take aim.
So you will take aim with Charlotte, your full-size musket, and fire.
15 to hit.
15 to hit. That does hit. I will also need you to make a strength saving throw.
12 on the strength saving throw.
You do manage to stand your ground, although the recoil was pretty harsh. It rocked you somewhat, but you managed to stay on your feet. But the rest of you see Fibblestib take out this full-size musket, which looks really odd on this on this gnome, and he pulls the trigger. There's a puff of smoke, a loud boom, and he rocks back with the recoil. But you do hit. Your damage, sir.
15 damage, and I need it to.
15
I need
damage.
anyone that's near it
Yes,
to make a dex saving throw,
including it.
including it.
So Mirabelle, you will need to make a dex save also. You're still within 5 feet of it. It fails with a 6.
That would mean I'd need
And
to do a
Skathis
dex.
as well, yes.
I think maybe me too. I don't know.
No, you probably were making your way into the room at this point, so you wouldn't have been like right standing next to it.
Do I have to take mine at disadvantage because I'm
Yes.
still poisoned?
Yes, you do.
So that is 14.
You're breathing on your microphone again.
That's because it's right in front of me face.
So 14.
And a
She
10.
passes. Skathis doesn't.
What was yours, Skathis?
10.
10. So 2 failures.
Skathis fails. Yeah, which means they take 5 fire damage. Oh no, sorry, 6 fire damage
So the creature takes 6 fire damage as well, and so does
on top of the 15.
on top of 15. Sweet. As well as Skathis, you also take the fire damage.
Yeah.
Is that your turn, Fibblestib?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look down and go, "Oh, good job, girl."
Zedriel, you're up, and Emilia, you're up after that. So Zedriel, you would have been making your way through the room, so you would have been at the doorway, so you were about 15 feet from this entity. Karnos is backed out of the room, probably just in front of you, so you'll have to move your way around him to get into the room.
I am going to rush in and go around. Is there a way that I can get around without being in line of a cannon or a musket?
Probably,
Or any other?
Probably not. I mean, you could go around and over the bed, but you wouldn't be able to get into combat would be outside your range of move. Well, no, I suppose if you went round onto the bed and then jumped down over the bed, over the footlocker, I'd let you do that. So you're out of range.
Over the hood of the car rolls.
Pretty much, yeah. If you want to do that, athletics or acrobatics, sorry. If you want to do the cool shit over the bed, roll in acrobatics.
7. No.
7.
I fall down.
So we don't fall down. It does not look graceful. You're in full armor, and you've got a shield, and it looks like Laurel and Hardy. Looks like Hardy's just tried to get over the car and has failed miserably. But you managed to roll over, but it just looks really ungraceful.
Just fix my hair and grab my warhammer and try to smack it.
Roll your attack.
And I would like to attach Divine Smite. 16.
So Divine Smite as well. 16 to hit. That does hit. So your bonus action will be Divine Smite.
Yeah, the warhammer is 10, and.
Do you have? You got Divine Smite. So yeah. So use a spell slot.
Is it undead or?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
You'd be able to tell it's undead. You know enough. You studied enough.
That would only be 8.
So
extra.
8 extra. That is more than enough. Again, Zadriel, with the killing blow, describe how you destroy this entity with your Warhammer and your Divine Smite with the Radiant Energy, because it'll be the Radiant Energy that destroys it.
I'm going to smack straight down and have the Radiant Energy just a light come forth, hopefully.
So, as Zadriel brings her Warhammer down onto the cranium of this creature, the radiant energy pulsing through its skull, you see the radiant energy then emanate from its eye sockets, from its mouth, from its ears, and then the head just explodes, sending bits of brain matter and skull fragments in all directions, covering you, Zadriel, Mirabelle, Scathus, all catching some of this as well, and spraying it all up the wall. But we will leave initiative as the entity then falls unmoving to the ground.
Is it dead?
I hope so. I hope it doesn't come back from that.
Is Garnos still frightened?
No. Well, a little bit. I mean, make another wisdom save.
Yep. 4.
Yeah. The he's not like terrified, but he's definitely not okay.
Okay, so lose the condition, but still role playing.
Yeah.
Yep. Sweet.
Mirabelle, you'll be poisoned for a little while yet. Right.
So Garnos sort of gets down on his knees, sheathes his shield and axe, and goes, "What in the flying fuck was that?" I need more potion of bravery, and he pulls 2. He pulls 2 bottles, or not the bottles, sorry, the flask from his belt, flips the 2 lids and takes a big swig from one, a big swig from the other, a big swig from the one, a big swig from the other, drops the lids back on, puts them back in his pouch, and sort of just sits kneeling on the ground, just breathing it out.
Now, Mirabelle, now that this is over, your attention falls back to the book you have in your hand. And you are a wizard or a sorcerer? Wizard, yeah. So you recognize the spells almost immediately. You open the book and you see the incantation for disguise self. Identify, mage armor, magic missile, protection from good and evil, first level spells. You also see the incantations for second level spells, dark vision, hold person, invisibility, and magic weapon. So just put down that you've got a spell book, because essentially what it'll allow you to do is learn those spells when you are able. So I will take a note of those also. So but once you're able to, because I think you've got first level spells at the moment, yeah. Yeah, so it means you're able to learn those spells and put them into, copy them into your own spell book. And do you have second as well? Yeah.
Yeah,
So it means if you don't already know those spells, you can learn those spells. You can't add them to your spell list because you only have a certain amount of spells, but you are able to learn those spells. And like I said, guys, for spellcasters, when you long rest, you can change out your spells, prepare and change out spells. Even if D&D Beyond says you can't, it's a house rule that I've always played, that as a spellcaster, whatever spells are available in your spell lists, you are able to swap and change out if on a long rest. So, there's also the cloak that's still lying on the ground beside you. Like I said, it's way too big for you, but it is a very fine looking cloak indeed. Do you bring the attention of the small wooden coffer that was sitting in this box to everyone's attention? Do you want to look into it, or does anyone want to? Bibblestep.
I want to look in the box, but before I do that, I'm going to go up to Skaceless and go, sorry. I'm healing for another 8 points of
Okay, so Skaceless, you take another 8 points of healing. Emilia, you wanted to say something.
I'm going to into the room, and I've seen Skathis take damage multiple times now.
Yes, you have.
I was going to heal him before, but somebody picked up a book, so I couldn't.
Yep.
So I'm going to cast second level healing word on him.
Okay. What was this? What does this heal? What does he receive?
9.
A further 9 points of healing, Skathis. As Emilia steps in, is that a touch spell or just a range one? It's ranged, isn't it?
Range 60
Yeah, so
foot.
60 feet. So yeah, so you wouldn't even need to step into the room, just line of sight.
Sweet.
So Fibblestep, Mirabelle's pointed out this box in this footlocker. It's not locked. You open it, you find 4 small vials of red liquid, which all of you would probably know potions of healing. You've seen them before, you've all dealt with them. There is a shirt made of interlocking metal rings in between layers of some sort of clothing. It's basically a chain shirt. You find a little tin box that contains a cup and simple cutlery. In other words, a mesket. You find a flask. It's a larger flask than the potions of healing. It's an odd-looking flask. Not sure what liquid's in it. But it feels warm to the touch. If anyone would like to try and identify that, you can. There is a lantern as well. Very fine-looking lantern. You shake it sounds like it's got oil in it, and it's got the front of the lantern has got a round circle on it. It looks almost like an eye on the front. Very cool-looking lantern. And a set of thieves' tools, lockpicks, and bits and pieces. Fibble, you would recognise those almost immediately.
So I'm going to give Zadriel 2 of the healing potions and Skathis the other 2 healing potions, because I know that
no worries.
Limpy's already got 2.
Yes.
I'm then going to pull out my alchemist supplies and identify that warm liquid.
So you take a little bit of the liquid just out of the top of the lid. You uncork it, have a look, and take a little bit out, and you put it into your little alchemist set there. Roll your alchemy. What's the alchemy check? God, I can never remember. Intelligence?
You want to do it intelligence with proficiency?
Yeah,
or just...
intelligence plus your proficiency.
Okay, so I'll roll a natural 20, so 26.
Nat 20! Had a lot of nat 20s tonight, guys.
Yeah, all at the wrong times.
I know, right? But a natural 20, so with a 27, yeah, you look at the liquid, you sniff it, you put it into your little alchemist set there, you go through it, you test it a little bit, and your eyes widen as you realize what this liquid is, and you know this shit is dangerous. Very cool, but very dangerous. This is a flask of alchemist fire.
Put the lid back and go.
Yeah, so
Straight
this
into
this
my
sticky
bag.
adhesive fluid ignites when exposed to air. So the little bit you took out started to smolder and smoke, which gave you the first inkling of what it was. So the moment you saw that, you put the stopper back in almost immediately. You can throw this flask up to 20 feet, shattering it on impact. On a hit, the target takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turns. The creature can end this damage by using an action to extinguish the flames. So it's continuous fire damage at the start of each of the target's turns until they put it out. But yes, a very nasty liquid indeed.
And I'll look at the mess kit and the thieves kit and go, you want?
To anybody. So Bibblesib is offering everyone a mess kit, which is just a kit for eating stuff, and a thieves tools kit. There's also a chain shirt there as well.
A chain shirt.
Yeah.
As well.
Does anyone take Bibblesib up on his offer?
Not I.
I'll take them if nobody else wants them, but I don't need them.
Anyone can use the thieves tools. Just the thing is with the thieves tools, if you are not proficient in them, you can't add your proficiency to any checks to lockpick. But anyone can use lockpicks.
Those potions that I was given, what were they?
Just potions of healing, just standard potions of healing. So they're literally under potions of healing in D&D Beyond.
Adolf's gonna walk up to Fiddlestib and actually take the mez kit from him.
Okay.
And as he's doing it, he's gonna go, "Thank you. Actually, I lost my other set, so this is thank you."
Right. So, Emilia, you take the chain shirt and thieves tools. If no one else takes them.
Okay.
So add those to your inventory. With that, initiative is complete, and Chant is still bringing out through the cabins of this area. A little louder than before, though. Can I get everyone to roll a perception check to see if you can make out what the chant is saying?
I think Cameron rolled good.
So we'll go around. Karnos.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. A nat 1 critical fail. So a natural 1 from Karnos. You are still struggling with the entity that you just faced and just can't really focus. Bibblestib.
17.
17. You start to make out what it's saying. Mirabelle.
13.
You do not. Emilia.
What am I rolling?
Perception.
17.
You do. Skathis.
9.
You don't. Zadriel.
3.
You don't. Adok.
Got a natural 20, but it's -1. So it's not.
It's still a natural 20. But you do anyway, because the DC was 17. So anyone 17 and above, you start to make out the words that the droning chant has been continually speaking this whole time. Adoc's probably the one that noticed it most clear, but you can clearly hear, he is the ancient, he is the land. Just repeated over and over and over again. And that is where we will end our story tonight, as our heroes finish their combat, some worse for wear, others not so bad. And we will pick up there next Wednesday night, sorry. We will pick up there next Wednesday night and carry on with our story. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening. I thank you, and I thank the players once again. Just quickly before we disappear though, can we just go around again? I'll call out everyone's name. Can we get a standout moment tonight, whether it's RP, action, whatever? Can we just get a quick standout moment from the show? Karnos, aka Baz.
I think for me, I guess a standout moment would be Emilia grabbing the cannon every now and then and just walking with it like a dog. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes, that's been a moment that I think everyone's going to remember. Fibblestip, standout moment for you. Same thing, same. Just the pet,
the puppy dog cannon.
the pet cannon. Mirabelle.
Oh, for me, I think it would have been when Fibblestib goes running up and says, "Sorry," runs off.
That's the apology to Skathis. Emilia, standout moment for you, my friend.
Someone shooting a teammate with a cannon.
Definitely. Skathis.
Yeah, I'll have to go with shooting with the cannon and the sorry.
Yeah, well, you got sorry from everybody. You got sorry from Fibblestib. You got sorry from Adoc, and yes, being shot with a cannon is not fun. Zadriel.
Same. The cannonball to the face with Skathis. That's nice. I like
It wasn't to his face. It was to his side.
In my mind, it was.
Does that tell you something, guys? Zadriel may not like Skathis very much at all. There's something going on there. And Adoc.
Yeah, I was going to say, Fiddlestick, where he looked down the corridor, he was just like, yeah, I can't do anything.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I got a couple of standout moments. One is the same thing. Fibblestib firing his giant musket and maintaining balance, mind you. I mean, I really expected him to fail that strength save and end up on his butt, but no, he manages to maintain his balance and still fire the weapon. But also the standout moment, and then some inspiration to Zadriel for playing it the way she did. The divine sense and discovering Emilia's secret and not saying anything, keeping it to herself at this point. So so that was a very cool moment. So yeah, Dan's inspiration to Zadriel for that, and to Fibblestib for the musket, and just I love your character, dude. It's so fun.
That's the third one, dude.
Oh, you still got it. Well, you got to start using these things, guys. Start using them. That's what they're there for.
Well, I haven't had a need to re-roll things, so it's like crap.
And if you haven't already got it, Emilia, DM's inspiration for you as well. I like your character too, dude. You're playing it very well. But well done, everyone. No XP, because that's what we're not doing that. We're doing milestone stuff. You haven't reached your first milestone as yet, but it is coming. But yes, next Sunday night, be rejoining us for more Curse of Strahd, but also to be here Wednesday. Sorry, Sunday. I'm confused. Sunday, Paradigm, episode 51. Be here or be square. Make sure you get your guesses in for the Metallica references from episode 50. It's on the YouTube. Go check it out. Count them up. Players, you guys can enter too if you want to. But make sure you DM me your guess in the Discord before the start of next Sunday's show. Sunday start time is the cutoff time. Person closest to will win a couple of free Steam games. and we'll just get the bragging rights, really. I've had one guess already, which is pretty damn close. So you'd have to get either really, really close or spot on to beat this guess that I have already. So, but we will see you all then. So until then, thank you very much, ladies and germs. I think we should raid somebody. Let's see who other D&D nerds are playing this evening. Don't forget, guys, in the chat too, you have channel points which you are able to use. Those channel points, you can guide the raid. So if you've got enough channel points, you can choose who we raid. You can also, if you've got enough channel points, name an NPC in the Paradigm campaign. So if you use those channel points, you can give me a race, a class, and a name for the Paradigm campaign. So what we'll do, you give me those things, and I will create that character and put them in as an NPC in the game. So make sure you check your channel points, make sure you use them. You get them just for hanging out in the chat, so definitely do that. Who we got on? We're Captain Robear's doing a rerun as usual. We got Sneaky Sneaklings. They are doing Ghost of Saltmarsh. Ooh. They've been going for 2 3/4 hours. 14 viewers. We might give them a look. Got to get through this ad. Do 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 do. Come on, ads. An ad for Star Trek. Okay, interesting. Oh, Picard, the new Picard movie. That looks pretty cool.
Let's see.
Right, so these guys. Oh my god, they got a bird cam. Fuck it, we'll raid them anyway. So we're going to raid this channel here. We're going to put it in. We're going to do the things and the stuff.
Because ultimately, if the ship's a galley, all galleys are mapped out the same. So you can use
right,
any
so
ship maps from
I'll just mute them for a second. Thank you guys. Thank you so much again, guys, for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you very, very much. Appreciate the viewers, the subs, the followers. I better acknowledge some followers before we go any further. Crisis GTV with a follow. We've got Herdy1000, Fortune with a follow, Epic Dwarf also with a follow, Legion33, Rafa Monty with a follow as well, and of course Yanti with a resub. 11 months. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Sunday. We'll see you Sunday. God damn it. And we'll see you next week too. Bye.